Savannah Police! Metro, go ahead, start me EMS.
Immediately as I stepped into the threshold of the door, laying on the floor next to the wall was a female victim, lying face down. As I walk into the room more, I can see another female victim.
This was the moment when a deputy made a horrifying discovery, finding 3 bodies within a house. But what would follow in this case, never before seen on YouTube, was a triple murder so twisted with lies and deceit, and with so many suspects, that the investigators doubted whether they'd ever be able to solve it.
And not sharing with the police, to us, it's the same as doing it.
I told you everything of them.
You told me, hey, boom, boom, he shot Corey twice.
It seemed like the case may never be solved, until the 50-year-old aunt of 2 of the victims made the daring decision to go undercover and get them the crucial evidence they needed.
Everybody screaming my name, and I don't know nothing, just like I told you.
Right.
I had the pistol that night.
It's just, we're just trying to get a better understanding of what's going on
No.
and what exactly happened.
Joanna Carolina, one way is our emergency?
Hi, I heard screams last night, and I just wanted to see if somebody could go over there and check.
Okay, you said you heard that last night?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you heard some screams. Did it sound like a male or a female or child?
I don't know. I just heard it. I didn't know whether to call this morning or last night. But once I didn't hear anything anymore or see anybody come in or out the house, I just decided to call you all.
When this worrying 911 call came in on the morning of October 22nd, 2015, officers in the town of Savannah, Georgia responded speedily to the location of the call. When they arrived at the scene, the woman who had made the call met them on the street outside the house of concern. What she'd revealed to them would chill the officers to the bone.
Hello. All right, are you? Okay. You called?
Yeah. Because I heard some, last night it was late. I was sleeping in my room window just under right there. I heard some gunshots. It sounds so close, like it was like in my yard.
The gunshots the woman had heard alluded to a violent occurrence the night before. But as the officer entered the house's yard and approached the door, he quickly realized that something was definitely wrong.
16 about 1.
1601.
Hey, go ahead, start me another unit. I got an open door.
The open door signaled that something was off, and it wouldn't take long before the officer's worst fears were confirmed.
Savannah Police! Metro, go ahead, start me EMS.
The second he stepped into the living room, he noticed a male victim lying face down to the left of the door. But this was just the beginning of the horrors within this house.
And immediately as I stepped into the threshold of the door, laying on the floor next to the wall was a female victim, lying face down. Now, as I walk into the room more, I can see another female victim.
In addition to the male victim, there were 2 more deceased females within the house. All 3 appeared to have been shot during the night, which matched up with what the neighbor had heard. This was now a murder investigation.
I immediately think, well, this is no longer an open door. This is no longer a welfare check. This is a triple homicide. 3 people got killed.
The detectives arrived at the scene, ready to begin the investigation. The first thing they noticed upon entering was that there were 3 9mm shell casings in the living room where the male victim was found. In the bedroom where the 2 women lay, there were 6 more 9mm casings. It seemed each of the deceased had suffered the same fate, shot thrice to ensure there was no chance of survival. Then they noticed something telling.
There was no forced entry to the front door. We were able to identify the victims as Corey Marshall, Kiana Marshall, or brother and sister, and Alexis Kitchen.
The fact that there were no signs of forced entry indicated that the killer was likely someone known by at least one of the 3 victims. This was crucial information to the detectives. But as they were examining the scene and trying to find any pertinent clues, they were alerted to a commotion outside.
Yeah, he was back on this. Any way we could back on this?
Soon the community started to come out. Now there's a massive amount of activity going on outside, which I like to coin as controlled chaos. We had moved the people back a bit.
I need some units on who that. Who that champion. I need them 1018. They got a big, large crowd out here fighting, large crowd.
The community had heard about what had happened and was out in force. This included friends, neighbors, and others who knew the deceased, and naturally, emotions began to flare up.
Let's go. I need some units down here.
While a number of people were involved in the commotion, 2 young women escalated their conflict until it turned physical. The officers were finally able to separate them, but they found the women's behavior suspicious, especially as both seemed to be familiar with the victims, but didn't seem upset. Then they began to question both of them, wondering if their flared tempers could be indicative of them knowing more about what had happened.
How you doing? What's your name? Gotcha. Hey, Mikey. What's going on here today?
Y'all need to talk to her. She know what's going on. She said that's real free. Who called her? So y'all need to talk to the one in that skirt, because she just told.
Are you willing to go down to the precinct and give a statement?
The officers were finally able to identify the 2 women as Jamaica Bell and Diamond Butler. But then they learned something that made their hair stand on end. Both women had been living in the residence where the murders occurred. Both had been there the night prior, and now both were pointing fingers at the other. It was time for the police to delve deeper into their stories, so they decided to take both women down to the station to conduct detailed interviews. First up was Jamaica Bell.
Where do you currently live?
Where I was currently was there.
How long have you been living there?
Probably about a week now. A week and a half.
Who lived there with you?
Who?
Who else lived there?
It was just Kiana. That was it.
Bell told the detectives that she and Tiny, which was her nickname for Diamond, had been living in the house with Kiana for only about a couple of weeks before the horrific shootings had occurred. Next, she detailed the events of the previous night.
Who else?
I don't know. It was only 2 of them. Tiny called somebody named Elo, and they came over.
2 guys?
Mm-hmm.
She explained how Diamond had called over 2 men, one of whom she knew as Elo, and the 4 of them had been heading out for a night out when they received a shocking call.
So, when were you last at the house?
I don't know. That's what she called us. It was at 11 last night. And she called me and was
Who
like,
was she?
Kiana. Okay. They was like, no, Lex called me. Was like, Kiana said, y'all need to come get y'all. But she called the police. I said, okay, well, we're about to come get it now. We went back to the house.
Who was we?
Me and Tiny.
Kiana had ordered Jamaica and Diamond to get their things and leave, or she'd call the police, as they hadn't paid her rent for the time that they'd been living there. When they arrived back at the house, all 3 victims, who would later be found dead, had been present and alive.
Those are not my people.
So there was, you said there were
Tiny's people.
When you said people, how many were there?
Now, by the time we got there, now Kiana's home.
Gotcha.
So when we got there, she was sitting on a little brown thing on her house. And she's like, looking at him. I'm like, why did you call the police? What's going on? And she's just looking at me like that. I'm like, what's going on? Talk to me. You feel me? I'm trying to figure out what's going on. So I was like, all right, whatever. So then they came to help us get some of my clothes and her clothes too.
Hello?
Hello and the other boy.
Another guy.
Yeah.
You don't know his name?
I don't know his name. I've never seen the other guy.
All right, where's Tiny at this point? She's in there as well?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So we got our stuff and left. But when we left, all of them was outside. Kiana, Lex, and Cora was all outside.
After ending the interview with Jamaica, the detective's main takeaway was that the four of them had likely been the last people to see the three victims alive. And while they Diamond and Jamaica with them, they had no idea where or even who the men who'd been with them could be. To learn more about the men and try to identify them, the detective sat down to speak with Diamond Butler next.
So you and Jamaica was staying in Kiana's house?
Yes, sir. And we was like renting out the room or whatever. So the girl Kiana said we gotta give her $250. She said I gotta give her $250 and Jamaica gotta give her $250. And she was like, y'all got until November 1st to come up with the rent. So she was like, okay. And we had company over there, and like we was drinking, playing cards and stuff like that. And like she just started tripping, like, oh, like y'all company too loud and all kind of stuff. And then she was like, I feel like y'all trying to play me. And we was like.
Diamond elaborated more on the dispute that had arisen between the two girls in Kiana and what had led up to her asking them to leave the house.
This was Tuesday night?
Yeah, Tuesday night. And we was like, we had a discussion where we was like, how are we trying to play you? And she was like, well, y'all didn't put her in the house. I had to get district surgery on my own, blah, blah, blah. And y'all give me no money, so I was like, y'all trying to play about the money. So we was like, well, you said we had it to the first. And it's not even the first yet, it's not even Friday yet when the nigga get paid. So she was like, I'm just saying, I hope that y'all not trying to play about the money. He was like, no, it ain't nothing like that. So
this is yesterday.
Yeah.
Now the officers knew what had happened the morning of October 21st, but they still needed to hear about her events of the evening and see if they matched up with what Jamaica had told them.
So we was in the house or whatever, and then that's when Corey called Jamaica phone with her brother. And he was like, where y'all at? And we was like, at the house. So he was like, I'm about to come over. So he came over there, and he was like, oh, she sent me over here to say y'all gotta leave.
It seemed Kiana had called her brother Corey over to help her kick the girls out of the house. This likely meant that Corey had not been a target, but had just been in the wrong place at the wrong time. But what Diamond would say next had the detectives listening carefully. She said she'd called a friend of hers over to help her pack her things, and then they'd left. They immediately moved to question her more about this individual, but what she revealed left them even more suspicious.
What's his name?
His name's Dre.
Dre?
Mm-hmm.
Andre, DeAndre?
Dre. That's Dre, everybody called him.
How many of y'all was it?
It was me and Jamaica and
So just three of y'all?
Mm-hmm.
So now we got inconsistency in the statement. We got one individual saying LO and another individual saying Dre. And you also have a statement where there was two males and a statement where there's only one. So somebody's lying.
Who out of Jamaica and Diamond was telling the truth? The detectives decided to put more pressure on the latter to try to get her to reveal more.
And knowing who did it, and not sharing with the police, us saying doing it.
I told you everything.
But despite their best efforts, Diamond stuck to her story, insisting that she told them the truth. The detectives would need to look into other avenues to learn the truth of what had happened the night before. With each lead, the case became more complicated. Questions stacked up, but answers remained nowhere to be found. Who was truly involved? Who was hiding the truth? And most importantly, who was still out there? Investigators knew they needed to find Dre and Elo, the aliases for the men the girls had mentioned in their interviews. If they had any information, it would be the key to breaking the case wide open. But before they could track them down, something unexpected happened that would send the investigation in an entirely new direction.
At this point, we had to find LO and Dre to determine if they had any information about this case. While we were looking for Dre and LO, my sergeant was involved in an incident where a shooting had occurred, and he gets behind a vehicle that had left the area and attempted to stop it. That vehicle ran, and at some point stops, and 3 individuals exit that vehicle. He chased down one of them, who was found to be Dwayne Abney. Witnesses also informed him that it was a male and female that ran from the vehicle in the opposite direction.
We're gonna walk to our car, okay? All right, come on up.
Initially, the investigators had no idea who Dwayne was. They'd taken him in because he was the only one of the 3 suspects who had fled and was caught. They expected it to be a routine interview following the traffic incident, but they had no idea they were about to get far luckier than they could have imagined. Dwayne Abney was about to reveal information that would turn their entire investigation upside down. Dwayne Abney was about to become a key figure in the unfolding mystery. And as the interrogation room doors closed behind him, the truth was about to take an unexpected turn.
What's your name?
Huh?
Dwayne. Dwayne what? Abney?
You were in a car. You were in a car that got chased by the police, and everybody jumped out of the car. Was that correct? Okay. Who were you in the car? Who were you riding with when they fled?
It was one of my friends, but really not my friend. Just somebody like she around Emma Pro.
Who's he?
No, I know they call him Elo. I don't know his name.
They call him Elo.
Elo wasn't just another name thrown into the mix. He was already on the detectives' radar. They'd been searching for him, and now, with Dwayne Abney confirming he'd been in that car, the urgency to track him down grew even stronger. But the question remained, was Elo just running, or was he running from something? And more importantly, did he have the key to unraveling this long-standing mystery?
So during the course of this investigator's interview, he mentioned L.O. And when he mentioned L.O., we were notified. So we created a lineup of people who had warrants. And we had a detective that had no knowledge of the case go back in and present him with a lineup.
Now came the actual test. Saying a name was one thing, but could Dwayne Abney actually pick Elo out of a lineup? To keep things unbiased, a detective who had no prior knowledge of the case was brought in to present the lineup. If he identified him instantly and with confidence, it could change everything. All eyes were on Abney. Would he give investigators the necessary confirmation, or would this lead hit another dead end?
All right, could you initial that, please?
He affirmatively identified an individual. And once you get a suspect identified, the case then moves forward at a blistering pace because you're trying to figure out who he is, where he is, what he's doing, where he's going, who's he associated with, is he still here? But we're also still looking for this guy named Dre. And we had to determine who he was pretty quickly.
The detectives soon discovered that Elo was actually James Hampton, giving the investigation new momentum. Now they needed to track him down, his whereabouts, his companions, and whether he was still in the area. Every second mattered. But Hampton wasn't the only one they were after. Dre was still a mystery, and they had to figure out his identity fast. The deeper they dug, the clearer it became. This case was far from over.
We needed to find James Hampton immediately because he was in the car with Diamond in Jamaica the night of the murders. I was now in day 2 of this investigation, and I was informed that Diamond Butler wanted to turn herself in, and she showed up barefoot, tattered dress, kind of in distress.
Before investigators could track down James Hampton, the case took another unexpected turn. Diamond Butler had turned herself in, barefoot, shaken, and wearing a torn dress. She didn't look like someone on the run. She looked like someone with a story to tell. Something had pushed her to come forward, and whatever it was about to change the course of the investigation.
Hello? And you okay? I'm Detective Reese. You're Diamond? Nice to meet you, Diamond. You want these for your feet? Why in your shoes? Oh, I took them off when I was running from the police. Alright. So what went on today? You said you ran from the police.
Oh yeah, 'cause me and Elo and his homeboy was in the car. So he got blue lighted. They was about to pull him over, but he didn't stop. He just ran off. And then he was like, "We about to hop out and run."
Who said that?
Elo. I had to go to court for auto theft and stuff, and I thought I had a warrant, and I wasn't trying to go to jail, so I ran too. We pulled over and ran out the car.
Okay, who was driving the car?
Elo.
Alright, and who was sitting in the front passenger seat?
Pepe.
Diamond's story filled in some gaps, but it also raised new questions. She confirmed she was with James during the traffic stop, just like Jamaica had been with him on the night of the murders. James Hampton's role in all of this was becoming more evident, but there was still one missing piece. Dre. Who was he? And more importantly, what part did he play in this deadly chain of events?
When you jumped out and ran, did you run with Elo?
No, they ran the opposite way, and I ran in the bushes.
Okay.
There's too much going on, and I'm in the middle of it, and it's something that I didn't mention when I talked to the other detective earlier. I didn't want to say who my homeboy was that had took me over there to get my clothes and came back with me, because he already had a warrant for shooting somebody in the leg, and I didn't want him going to jail or getting in the middle of it, so I just said his name was Dre, but his name Elo. Okay. But I didn't want to say that because he was already on the run.
And just like that, the mystery of Dre unraveled in an instant. There was no Dre. It had been James all along. A fake name, a fabricated identity, one more layer of deception in an already twisted case. But now that the truth was out, one thing was certain. This wasn't just a case of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. There was more to James Hampton's story, and investigators were getting closer to uncovering it.
Run through that story, run through the events with me that happened from last night.
It's the same thing. The only thing I left out was Elo's name. Like, I kept saying his name was Drake because I knew he had warrants and stuff. And then I left out his homeboy because his homeboy be doing crazy stuff too.
Which homeboy are you talking about?
The puzzle was nearly complete. Diamond had finally started talking, and now the key players were all on the board. They knew they'd been in that car the night of the murders. 3 had been questioned. Only 1 remained. James Hampton was still out there, and if investigators wanted the whole story, they had to find him before it was too late. The investigators soon received a call, one that changed everything. Tisa Lewis, the aunt of Kiana and Corey, had found James's location. But what truly shocked them wasn't just the tip, it was how she got it.
My sister and I got a call that Elo was in Yamacraw. And Gina was like, Thais, we got to go to Yamacraw because that's where he's at. So all right, let's go. So we went there. When me and Regina gets to Yamacraw Park, he's on the park playing basketball. And then Regina, she walks up and she was like, hey, let me talk to you for a minute.
At 50 years old, she'd gone undercover, willingly stepping into danger. She wasn't a detective, but she wanted to find the man linked to her family's tragedy.
This is a situation. When they pull up, they wanted to fight, you feel me? And I told them, I was like, y'all fight them, I'm pulling straight off, you feel me? If I refused on letting them fight, like, you feel me, why would I do something like that? Everybody screaming my name, and I don't know nothing. Just like I told you.
Right.
I had the pistol that night. You feel me? I don't got my pistol no more because everything that's going on, they told me I got 2 outstanding warrants on the news. I already know what one on for something that I did and somebody telling on me.
It's just, we're just trying to get a better understanding of what's going on and what exactly happened. Because all of a sudden, Kiana telling y'all to get out because y'all disrespect that girl.
Yeah, that's and that's what I
Kiana,
told.
only thing she tried to do was help them. Now all of a sudden, y'all getting kicked out, and my baby's found dead in the house.
I knew Corey for years. And I told my sister and my mama what type of boy Corey was. My sister touched her heart and said it had to be an animal that took that boy life. That man said
it had to been an animal that had took 2 girls' lives.
He denied, deflected, and distanced himself from what had happened that night. But in his words, there were cracks, slivers of truth slipping through. This wasn't just a conversation. It was a carefully planned move to get the truth straight from James himself.
Thais called me on the phone and told me that she had just spoken to James Hampton in Yamacraw and that she had recorded the conversation, and she told me he was still there. So I got on the radio and I told patrol units, that James Hampton, who is a potential suspect in this homicide, is currently in Yamacraw, and I advised them to use caution because we knew that James was very dangerous, possibly armed, and he's known to flee, and it was just really important that we got him off the street.
This was it. James Hampton was right there. No more guessing, no more chasing leads. But taking him in wouldn't be easy. He was known to run, and worse, he could be armed. The officers had to act fast. One wrong move, and he could disappear again.
Once we had received information from the victim's family that they had gone and met with Hampton, we set up operation to have him arrested for the warrants. Units located him on the basketball court in Yamacraw Village, and they were able to surround the area and take him into custody.
James Hampton was finally in custody. After days of chasing leads and dead ends, the search was over. At last, the detectives had him in the interrogation room. Now, it was time to break his story apart.
You said your name was what? They call me Elo. Elo.
Alright, the night that it took place, you feel me? I came there. The girl Diamond texted me. She like, "Oh, what's up? I want some. You feel me? I want to chill, smoke, get high, drink, turn up." She texted that to my phone. You feel me? So I was like, I'm about to pull up. We pulled up. They jumped inside the car. We went, me and Pep, the boy Pepe.
You know his real name?
I don't know his real name, but we can call him Pep.
Okay.
Pepe.
Y'all pull up to where?
The house in Carl Village where everybody got killed. So when we pulled up, the girls, they hopped inside the car.
What time was that?
This was around about 11, 12 at night. You feel
So
me?
it's just you and Pepe?
Yeah.
And then y'all pick up Diamond and who?
The girl Jamaica.
The tension in the room was rising. James was talking, but was he telling the whole story? He painted a picture of a night that started with frustration, but ended in murder. The investigators weren't buying it just yet. They needed more, and they were about to push harder to try to get it.
We got out the car. We were trying to figure out how we gonna fit the bins inside the car. So what the girl name is with the dreads who got killed, Kiana.
Okay.
I started talking to Kiana. I'm like, Kiana, how much you want? Like, how much they owe you? Kiana was like, it ain't even about the money. They keep disrespecting me inside my house. They gotta go. They gotta go. I don't even want the money from them.
Inside the house, was there a physical altercation?
There was never a physical altercation.
No fist thrown, no hair pulling.
Ain't nobody never fought inside that house. If somebody would have fought in that house, I would have pulled off.
Do you have a gun?
Nah. And
You don't own any guns?
I don't own no guns.
James was caught in his web of lies. Just hours earlier, he admitted to having a gun while talking to 50-year-old aunt of 2 murder victims.
Just like I told you.
Right.
I had the pistol that night.
Now, face to face with investigators, he denied ever owning one. But his own words betrayed him. His story was falling apart, and detectives weren't letting up. As detectives pressed James Hampton for answers in the interrogation room, a separate team of investigators secured a search warrant for his house, combing through every corner, determined to find any piece of evidence that could finally seal the case and tie him to the brutal murders of Corey Marshall, Kiana Marshall, and Alexis Kitchens.
Metro Police, come out if you're in here. The whole thing?
As they combed through the house, expecting the usual clues, they stumbled upon something they never anticipated. They came upon an eyeglasses case with bullets inside. They were the same type used in the murder. The investigators also recovered a phone from his house. With his phone in hand, investigators secured a search warrant, expecting to find call logs or messages. But what they uncovered was something far more incriminating. Buried within the gallery were photos of James posing with multiple guns. And then, one image stood out. He was holding a gun nearly identical to the one used in the murders.
James had multiple pictures of firearms in his cell phone. But what really piqued my curiosity was there was one particular picture that he had taken roughly an hour before the murders. And it was a picture of what appeared to be him holding a high point firearm, which is what the murder weapon was.
Based on these pieces of evidence, James was arrested and charged on an outstanding warrant for aggravated assault.
Please stand up.
I didn't feel that James was being completely truthful given the bullets that were in his bedroom. At the end of the interview, James was arrested for his arrest warrant that he had for aggravated assault, and he was taken down to jail. I knew that at this point, I had my work cut out for me.
However, despite the mounting suspicion, authorities didn't initially charge him with homicide due to the lack of concrete proof linking him directly to the murders. Despite the mounting evidence, the police were growing frustrated. They had nothing solid enough to directly link James or Dwayne to the murders. It was like having all the pieces to a puzzle, but none of them were quite fitting together. Then, just as the case seemed to stall, something unexpected happened. An inmate from the county jail came forward, offering chilling information that would soon change everything.
Who have you been speaking with at the jail?
My roommate, James Hampton.
Are you actually in a cell with him?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. Is this him? Okay. Go ahead and just tell me what you guys have been speaking about.
He told me, yeah, brother, the guy that went away, he was asking me about the murders or whatever, because you know me, I don't try to be nosy and stick my nose in people's business. And he was like, yeah, I did kill all three of them.
And then he said something that tied the whole case together.
I was like, no, and you know, I kind of shocked me. As soon as he told me that, my whole body got chill bumps and everything, you know. I was like, bro, so what happened? I said, what, it been an argument or something like that? He never told me what they argued about or nothing like that.
Every detail he described painted a darker, more disturbing picture of what had really happened that night. With each word, the police began to realize just how brutal and horrifying the crime truly was.
See, he left and he went back to the house, knocked on the window to get Corey to come to the door. He said, when Corey came to the door, he walked to the back to see what the other two females was saying, you know, basically pacing. She and Wall was in there. And but like this, they closed her hair because he basically played them in the sense of letting them figure he was coming back to get the girls' clothes. And I guess once the guy Corey who pointed out me clothes or whatever, he told me, hey, boom, boom. He shot Corey twice. It was the female, one of the females trying to run, boom, boom. And he hit her. One female was balled up or something like that, boom, boom. He hit her. Basically, he said on this way he running back out, he's from Corey, I guess, trying to crawl to the back door, crawl, and he made this look like he was dying or whatever. He hit him one more time and ran out the door.
With the crucial information they gathered, police decided to search Dwayne and James's cells, hoping to find any evidence of communication inside or outside the jail. Their goal was to determine if the two of them had been coordinating their stories or reaching out for help. And this decision didn't disappoint. Inside the cells, officers uncovered multiple letters.
One of the letters went to Dwayne Abney, who was also in jail, laying out in chronological order what he should do and what he should say in regards to this case.
With a mountain of evidence stacked against James, there was no doubt about his involvement. But one crucial piece was still missing: the motive. To uncover it, police decided to bring Diamond in for another round of questioning. At first, it seemed like it might be another dead end. She remained cold, refusing to answer. Investigators were on the verge of giving up. Then they changed their approach. Instead of pressing her with hard facts and accusations, they shifted to a sober, more personal tone while showing sympathy. And that brought about a breakthrough they were desperate for.
I'm sorry you had that childhood that you had. I can't, like, personally, I can't even imagine. Like, it breaks my heart even to think about having to do the things that you've gone through.
And slowly, the ice started to melt. After a few moments, Diamond broke down. She finally started speaking, telling the truth the police had been waiting for.
So you and Jamaica got dropped off in Yamacraw, right? Like you said, like you guys got your clothes, you got dropped off in Yamacraw, you get out and go to his apartment, right? And then does he leave with Pepe? So it's just him and Pepe in the car? Okay. So then after you said they were gone, how long?
15 minutes.
Okay. So he comes back like 15 minutes later, and it's him and Pepe that come back. And then when did he tell you that he did it? Like, was it just you and him, or like when did he tell you that?
When he came back in the room.
Who did he say in front of?
He said it in my ear. Cause when he came back, I was hugging up on him and stuff, and then he whispered in my ear, and he said, "I killed all of them."
What did you say to him?
I was like, "Why did you do that? I didn't tell you to kill him."
What did he say?
And he was just shaking and he was sweating.
The detectives finally had the motive. They gathered that Diamond had been asked to leave the house, and in an attempt to impress her, James committed the crime. With this confession, all the pieces fell into place, confirming what investigators had been trying to prove all along. Dwayne Abney, James Angelo Hampton, and Diamond Butler were charged with the murders of Corey, Kiana, and Alexis on December 15th, 2017. James was convicted on all charges in the indictment and sentenced to 3 consecutive life terms without the possibility of parole, plus an additional 35 years. Dwayne Abney was also found guilty on all charges, receiving 2 consecutive life sentences with the possibility of parole, followed by 15 years. Diamond Butler pleaded guilty and testified at trial. In exchange, she was sentenced to 90 years in prison for aggravated assault and conspiracy to commit aggravated assault.
You wanted him to wet or shoot up that house. What did you say?
I said yes, and I said I don't care.
The lead prosecutor says Butler's testimony against Hampton helped determine their case.
With the verdicts delivered, justice was finally served for Corey, Kiana, and Alexis. What began as a frustrating investigation full of dead ends had unraveled into a case built on undeniable evidence, confessions, and motive. James, Dwayne, and Diamond would spend the rest of their lives behind bars, their actions forever altering the lives of those left behind. Though no sentence could undo the tragedy, the convictions brought a sense of closure to the victims' families.
Like you be in the house by yourself, you hear a sound. All right, Lex, behave up there. And I know she's not there, but I'm always talking to Alexis.
Even James's father was overcome with remorse, unable to comprehend the depth of his son's crimes.
Even though it's my son being convicted of this, they lost their loved ones. I was so grateful to see them able to smile.
The case stood as a reminder of how crime, no matter how calculated, leaves a trail, and that justice, even when delayed, will always find its way.
Obviously, we can't get a good look at the face yet. Is it just skull bone? Bite marks.
That's interesting, the way the pantyhose or whatever ripped. Yeah.
It was at this moment the cops' worst fears were confirmed with a single horrifying discovery. There was a deranged killer on the loose.
I've never seen anything like this. We just knew that the suspect had several weeks of a head start on us.
The killer thought he'd gotten away, but little did he know he was caught on camera.
I wanted to get this guy. It was like my life's mission.
Just when the case seemed unsolvable, the cops found a lead that would change everything.
He broke in the window just about an hour ago.
Were you in bed sleeping?
I was on the couch.
You were on the couch sleeping.
You can't see me. You can't see me.
However, the very first chapter of his sinister story revealed a horror so unimaginable that it shook even the most notorious criminals to their core.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I mean, I'm no angel. I've never done something like that.
It was 7:36 in the evening of April 7th, 2016, and a homeless woman had just called 911 in Pasco County, Florida. She was looking for cans, but had come across something she was never going to forget.
So you basically ventured in the first time, got canned, came back out, went back in a little deeper, pulled those branches back and saw what you thought was a dead body. Did you immediately recognize it as a dead body? Okay. And did you touch anything? Okay. Did you do anything at all out there other than touch the branch? And then you came back out and you called us.
The suspected area was around the woodland of Newport Ricci. Pasco County Sheriff Matthew Adamo was going to investigate the report.
We think we're responding to a standard death investigation call. It was relayed to us as a dead homeless male in the woods. We arrive on scene. I activated my body-worn camera. Little did I know what I was walking into.
The initial speculation was that it was a homeless altercation gone wrong, but the detectives soon realized that they were in the middle of something much more disturbing.
If it's a GSW or... He's headless right at this point.
Detectives interviewed the caller, who claimed that a headless body of a man was beside a shopping mall next to a mobile home community. She ran back out immediately, and in doing so, she avoided contaminating the scene. After getting confirmation of the body in the wooded area, the investigative team divided into two. One was to secure the body, and the other one was to look out for evidence.
We want to ensure that we're locating any witnesses before they leave the area or forget what they saw.
I'm gonna go all these houses in this little trailer park here. Right. I'll even stay back as far as a week and a half, 2 weeks, if you've seen anything. Right. And can you tell us the white male that bad?
I would say it's a white man. Is he that far in decom? Okay.
Fortunately, the nearest was the Metro PCS store, where they may find something horrific that was caught on camera.
Do you have physical drives here, like actual hard drive to record? Mind if I take a peek at your system? Can I just look at it, see what kind of signal it is? Thank you, I appreciate it.
Simply because we see surveillance video cameras doesn't mean that we're going to get any information from them.
Do you guys have cameras out back? Well, honestly, I have no idea what the phone is called. Let's see if there's anything on it. I need like 2 weeks worth from today back. Oh, 2 weeks? Yeah. Good luck with that. I didn't know we were
The employee took him to the room where the CCTV footage was being recorded, but most of it was erased. The new owners had just bought this building on Friday, because of which everything on camera was erased. In the meantime, a different team of police officers secured the area and cleared the path to the body. Their priority was to identify the victim and draw initial conclusions. The investigators were moments away from a revelation that would redefine their entire search.
Like a female flip-flop. Like a female, actually.
Walking in a little further, when I got closer to the body appeared to have some female clothing on.
Hey, Sarge. Yeah, looks like it might be a female, actually. Yeah, that might be one of her shoes. There's another shoe back there matching.
So that changed a little bit of the dynamic of what we were looking at here.
And there's the other flip-flop just past her.
As they realized the body belonged to a female, right away they had a hunch on who this person could have been.
I wonder if the body is missing female from Newport Ricci. How long ago? 2015.
21-year-old Brooklyn Peck was reported missing in October of 2015, just over a mile from the wooded area. After a long investigation, police had labeled her as an unsolved case. The search for Brooklyn had worn out, and the hope of finding her safe and sound had died down with it. But when the newly found body appeared on the news, Brooklyn's family had again hoped to gain some kind of closure after 6 agonizing months.
My relationship with Brooklyn was very, very close. More like a daughter to me. Brooklyn was liked by everybody who met her. Everyone who would meet her would say what a lively personality she had. Even if she didn't have something, she would go out of her way to make sure that someone else had something. I have not met one person that had something negative to say about her. She was just genuinely loved by everybody. At the end of the day, what I would like to hear about Brooklyn's disappearance is just closure. If she was murdered, I'd like to know. I mean, you don't ever want to hear the worst, but hearing the worst is better than hearing nothing.
However, the confirmation on whether it was Brooklyn relied on the coroner's report, which would happen after forensics securely got to the body and took it in for a test. But all of that had to wait until the crime scene was thoroughly investigated and the tricky location of the body was playing a number
In the high-stakes world of criminal justice, having the right lawyer can mean all the difference between freedom and a prison cell. No one told Cote Lose this, apparently, as he requested as his lawyer his girlfriend, who just so happens to be the woman he just tried to stab, and also the reason he is now in this police interrogation room. Talk about a conflict of interests. And when asked whether he needs medical attention, Cote's primary concern is whether the nurses at the hospital are beautiful. He also enlightens us to the size of his member. Spoiler, it's small.
1258, one detained. Stand up. What's going on, man? Oh, man, just hang out. You're sweating. You alright?
Yeah. Oh, my chick got she got lupus and so she had like these sticks and stuff, but she don't get. If she doesn't get
real quick, man. Real quick, hold on, bro. You want to sit down?
Have it, man.
You want to sit down? Like to sit down, hang out?
Yeah, hang out.
While I talk to you? You want to do that? Can we do that?
Yeah.
Do me a favor, man. I'll make sure there's no tighten up on you, alright? Let's go right over here so we can sit down. Yeah, you can sit down right there, man. Yeah, I'll make sure you don't fall down. You want to sit down?
Yeah, but you want me?
You want to sit down?
I mean, how we...
Yeah, sit down.
And that'll be...
I got you, man. You're good. Sit down. Go ahead. Yeah, so you can give me the return and you can release traffic. Go ahead. So, what's your first name, my man?
What's that?
What's your first name? What's your name, my man?
What's that?
What's your name? You alright? You alright, man? Do you need an ambulance?
Good afternoon, officer.
Hey, you doing alright, man? Are you okay? Do you need an ambulance over here to check you out for some reason?
I mean, they got some beautiful nurses down there that been trying to check me out, but...
Yeah, what's your name?
They call me John.
Your name's John? Okay, hey John, I'm gonna read you something real quick, okay, before I start.
I'm the bigger jackass, man.
What's your name? I'm trying to be cool with you, man.
No, I understand that, man. I was seeing what was really going on here because I done been confused before. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I got you. Are you confused right now?
Well, I mean, it just depends if this is part of the method or just part of something else. You know what I mean?
Well, I want to talk to you about what happened over at your girl's place. That you were just about to start telling me about.
I mean,
when I asked you what was going on.
I mean, she was having a lupus episode earlier. She had to get her. It makes her start loving up. She has to get her anxiety up. So.
Okay.
So start suffocating.
Real quick, before we get to that point, what do I need? What do I call you by, my man? What's your first name?
Whatever's comfortable for you.
What's comfortable for me is to call you by your name. What's your first name?
I mean, What's girlfriend did you talk to? So, you know what I'm saying? What are you?
Well, yeah, we'll get to that. Well, what's your name is what I'm asking you right now.
I'm saying, what name did she say I had? That's what I'm trying to find out. Because
Well, I didn't talk to her. My partner did. I'm talking to you now.
all right.
Okay, because she said some pretty serious things happened over there that I'd like to talk to you about to get your side of the story, but I can't do that if you're over here fucking around with me. You know what I mean?
No, I mean,
So what's your name? Let's answer.
Been similar events like this before. You see what I'm saying?
I got you. Why don't we start with what your name is?
Alright.
Go ahead.
I go by Joseph. What? I go by Joseph.
I don't think so, but we might need
in the Bible. You know, Saint Joseph. He's the saint of the fathers and the family figures. So, then my middle name. Yeah, go ahead. I was born at Joseph.
Yeah, if you want to send him this way, he's probably signal 10.
I mean, no, because I'm over here trying to get her help. You see what I'm saying?
We're at the pool over at the end of Winter Park.
I'm trying to get her help. You see what I'm saying? And
okay.
So, I would just rather not to say anything to you hear what she said because I'm trying to get her help.
I got you, man.
Because she needs help. She's been having these lupus
All right.
episodes, and
Well,
I've been over here for 8 months.
I want to read something.
Her, you see what I'm saying? Put my stuff on hold to try to help her get through things because she said she needs somebody at night. She has nightmares. She has all these different issues that she needs somebody to feel safe with.
Okay.
And you see what I'm saying?
Here's what I'm going to do, man. I'm going to read you something right now because you're in handcuffs, okay? So I'm going to read something to you and then we can talk about what happened over there, all right? Got it? You have the right to remain silent and not make any statement at all. Any statement you make may be used as evidence against you at your trial. Do you understand that? I did. Do you understand that?
I mean,
Any statement you make may be used as evidence against you in court. Do you understand that? The only reason I'm reading this to you is because you're in handcuffs right now, okay? I genuinely want to hear what you have to say, okay? But I need you to acknowledge that I'm reading this to you, okay?
Take your handcuffs off. I'll stay sitting down.
Well, even if we did that, I still got to read this to you, okay?
No, you ain't. You gotta read all that. You got.
You understand what I'm saying, man? This is for you. This is to protect you, okay? You have the right to have a lawyer present to advise you prior to and during any questioning. Do you understand that?
I never have understood lawyer.
Okay.
If I had,
do you understand what
I would like to have my girl, Barbara DeAndre, the girl you just talked to, whatever, little white chick about 5'8".
Okay.
Black hair. Wherever y'all came from.
Okay.
Autumn, summer, wherever, I don't know how to shoot the So I would like her to be my lawyer. To advise me which question to answer.
Oh, that's probably not going to happen. But all right, so you have if you are unable to employ a lawyer, you have the right to have a lawyer appointed to advise you prior to and during any questioning. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. Basically, all I'm asking is if you understand the words I'm saying to you. Okay.
I mean,
that's all I'm asking if you understand. Okay.
Yeah.
You have the right to terminate the interview at any time. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. So what happened over there, man? You said Barbara's house?
Yeah, I guess so.
What happened over there?
Well, what's really been going on is a lot of the people have been trying to get to some
okay.
As Lucas just ordered, and there's a lot of other people, and I guess, and so it seems like that people got that confused with different things, and so I don't know if you know anything about any of this stuff. I don't know too much about a lot of stuff, but a lot of people been trying to get to me to do different things for them, and this and that, and I mean, really, in all truth and in honesty, I mean, I really don't even really just get along with a lot of the people that I even know anymore. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm really not that type of. I mean, I really just I ended up on the wrong side of things. I like to smoke a little weed and do a little bit harder drugs, and so that led to prison sentence and more prison sentences.
I got you. Did you take anything tonight?
Huh?
Did you take anything tonight? Any harder stuff tonight? Maybe like a little bit of meth?
I mean, I don't know, man. They go from white stuff installed or something. Hey, this is something, you know what I mean? I don't know what it is.
So you took something tonight? You don't know what it is?
I was told a long time ago, if you done something once, you don't ever have to do it again to go back to get that same feeling, you know what I mean?
Gotcha.
I don't know what I've been doing, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I've not been doing.
Pay for it, cut your way, and be done.
Just hang it right there, man. Don't do that.
Yeah. Go right here. I'm standing right here. I told you I trip out like this. People, I can't. If I could, yeah, I think I would be cool. Y'all, maybe leave me out, bro.
Okay, man. So what happened over at her place?
Okay.
Yeah, what happened over there at her place?
I told you, man. She's got that lupus stuff and anxiety, and she's like, man, I don't know. I'm trying. She said she has to get her anxiety up, or fucking she can't breathe, and then So I mean, this is I don't know, man. I can't tell you. I know I've been I got had to hit a few times, threw stuff at me, and I'm like, I want to stop her, but I'm like, what the heck is going on? How can this is not going right?
Date of birth or anything yet?
My dick's kind of small, so she's like,
no, I can get that for you.
Really, I think I need to feed my buddy. I think my buddy needs me.
Let's do this real quick, man. Let's go get you in the AC real quick, all right? You're sweating a lot. Yeah, I'll help you out.
Let's go ahead and get rehydrated and get fucking,
Come on, man.
My homeboy needs me, man.
All right, let's go over here.
You ready?
You know, dress up.
Huh?
You know, dress up, huh?
I mean, I just put these little shorts on, so fucking, I look better down there, down to the feet.
I'm glad you got some shorts on, better than nothing.
My upper body looks better than male, my bottom body looks better than female. So
Take a seat, my man.
Huh?
Just take a seat real quick.
Can't get you in the air conditioner. It's not too hot.
What?
Just take a seat in the car. Get you in the air conditioner.
The AC gonna mess me up. I got to cool down a little bit of time.
Okay, I'll turn it down. Sit down in the car, please.
Let me sit down right here a little bit.
Sit down in the car, please.
Let me sit down right here a little bit.
Sit down in the car, please.
Let me sit down right here a little bit.
Sit down in the car. Come on. Sit down in the car.
Let me sit down.
You're gonna sit down in the car.
Hey, Mr. Big Runner.
161 secondary.
Mr. Big Runner. Mr. Big Runner. Mr. Big Runner.
Hey, I don't know how far we're gonna get with an interview with this guy.
Tell me your first name again.
Mr. Big Runner.
He is ready. I'm ready. Put your feet in the car.
Hey.
Put your feet in the car, please.
No. I wish I knew what the heck is really man.
I need you to put your feet in the car so I can help him get your information without having to worry about you. Okay? Can you do that for me, please?
Let's just go to the hospital. Let's just go to the hospital with this test, man.
Okay. To the hospital?
I mean, I don't know what. I mean,
I'll take care of you, man. I'll be with you in the back.
What do you need to go to the hospital for?
What's that?
What do you need to go to the hospital for?
I mean, well, but we don't really have to do. I mean, there's certain things that I think that can benefit probably everybody. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't know exactly. Maybe like I don't know what they drinking. I don't know what. I mean, I'm kind of.
Are you thirsty?
I mean, I'm kind of dehydrated. I could probably use drinking. I mean, stuff like.
Okay.
Are y'all? I mean, are you thirsty or not thirsty? Or you need a?
Can you? If you put your feet in the car, I can see if I have a water bottle for you. Can you do that? Gonna slow.
On Valentine's Day 2019, in Beaumont, Texas, Correctional Officer Christopher Ray Jones dials 911 because his 38-year-old wife, Olivia Jones, has been shot.
Hello? Yes, sir. Beaumont Fire Department. Received a call. Somebody's having some difficulty breathing.
5575, no.
Okay.
Please.
Sir, we got them coming already. I'm trying to get some more information. Tell me what's going on.
We got it, sir. That's what I take the gun.
Tell me what's going on.
I'm at home. My wife been shot in the head. Please.
Somebody shot in the head.
My wife, please.
Okay, they're coming, sir. What I need to know is if she's shot in the head,
Please.
where is she shot directly in the head and what caliber?
5-9. Please, hurry.
Sir, I've got them coming. I'm trying to help you. Where was she shot? Is she conscious? Is she breathing?
No, she's dead.
Okay. Can you control the bleeding?
No.
Oddly, Chris doesn't even try to control the bleeding. Their home CCTV cameras show Chris walking back and forth, and at one point calmly waiting for first responders.
Yes, sir. I haven't been in the house. She in the house.
Where's the gun?
In the bedroom, broken down on the dresser. Come this way.
Okay.
Please, come this way. This way.
Okay.
Please. Olivia! Baby!
Sir. Okay. Step back.
What's up, Mr. Butler? I tried to take it.
Give his information.
Mama!
Hey, sir.
What about my kids?
Then we'll just need a minivan. So if any of y'all know somebody with a minivan service, have them call me up. Because if we only get about 10 or 20, we probably can do 2 vans instead of a 40-passenger bus. But there will be a bus from Baltimore. There will be a bus from Maryland Eastern Shore. There will be a bus from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. A bus from Chester, Pennsylvania. A bus from Trenton, New Jersey.
This shit don't sound right. How big is this school?
A bus from Dover, Delaware, and a bus from Wilmington. 4 states, 2 buses. We will be the only black school in the country that's educating black boys in 4 states. I want to close with a quote, but let me give you my number so you can reach me. 215-989-9858. 215 989 98.
Oh, shit. Oh,
So you can reach me. 215 989 9858. 215 989 9858. Once more, 215 989 9858. That's my personal cell phone number. Don't call me because I don't answer the phone. Unless you pastor, I don't pick up. You got me? Text me. Text me. You need to schedule a consult? Text me. I'll tell you. The school will be done in about a week or 2. We just got a little bit of HVAC. Thank you. And congratulations to y'all, because it's not my school, it's our school. We're going to have a grand opening for the community to come celebrate. That grand opening might be the last Saturday of this month. It might be the last Saturday of this month. It's going to depend on whether we get the occupancy certificate from the city in time. If we don't get it, the grand opening will be in April. How will you know when the grand opening will be? Hopefully the new website will be up by then. But if it's not, if you're on social media, make sure you follow me on Twitter at Dr. Umar Johnson. If you're on Instagram, follow me at Dr. Umar Johnson. If you're on Facebook, follow me at Dr. Umar Ifatunde. And you could go to my website, drumarjohnson.com. Click on my social media from there. You can also email me from there, and I will have the flyer for the grand opening posted on there if the school's own website is not up, because I want all y'all to come and celebrate. But I do have a disclaimer. This has been a 9-year process. If you've never donated to the school, you will not be welcomed at the celebration. So I'm telling you now, go to my website and click on the donations to the school. I don't care if you give $50, $25, Cash App, PayPal, check or money order, but make sure you send in a donation so that you are welcomed at the celebration.
Whoa.
Okay?
Did he just say you won't be welcomed without a donation? That's sinister. Oh. Let's look at the tags. LGBTQ tag, gay tag, PLO Lumumba, Joe Biden, Vladimir Putin, Barack Obama, Haiti, Barbados, Jamaica, Spain, Italy, Germany, Australia, Canada, United Kingdom, United States, Ivory Coast, Pan-African, politics, Africa, Kampala, Kagala.
You had anything to drink tonight?
I have one drink. I can't walk in these shoes. Oh, you're good.
You can't walk in them? You want to take them off?
It's fine.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Very sleep
6,
drop.
7, 8, 9.
Go.
Okay.
We want you to leave, so before you guys get in trouble, let's just leave.
Come on, gee, walk.
Come on, where?
You go in the car.
Yeah. Wait. Maybe 2.5 margarita.
Okay. Well,
Not even margarita. It was fucking sex on the beach, and I'm having sex in 6 months.
Okay.
Say, nigga.
Stop. Give me your hands. Hello, Officer Pam with the Norcross Police Department. Pulling over fair to maintain lane, okay? Yeah, you still live in Calhoun?
Yes.
You got any weapons on you?
No.
Anything illegal?
No.
All right, I'm gonna assault you out here.
Okay.
48 right, I'm on fields. Let's come over to the front of my vehicle. Have a seat right here. I'll be right back with you, okay? You got anything to drink tonight?
I have one drink.
One drink?
I never drink, but my sister had her baby, and we're celebrating that he's out of the UCI, so I had one drink.
Okay, what kind of drink?
It was a margarita.
Margarita? How long ago?
Strawberry. It was like maybe 20, 30 minutes ago.
20, 30 minutes ago? Okay.
Yes.
Are you still feeling the effects of the alcohol?
No.
You been drunk before?
No.
You been tipsy before?
No.
Okay, how you feeling right now?
I'm feeling good.
On a scale of 1 to 10?
I'm 10.
10? Okay,
Yes.
do any drugs?
No.
Take any medicine?
No. I do vape.
Okay. I'm
So
just gonna make
that's
sure you're
about
good
it.
to drive, okay?
Yes.
You good with that?
Yes.
You have any medical disabilities?
No.
Any physical impairments?
No.
Your legs, your arms, your head, your back, everything's good?
Everything's good.
Alright, so the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna check your eyes, okay? Do you wear any glasses or contacts?
No.
No? Okay. Just up, just stay there. See this blue light? You need you to follow your eyes only, but not move your head, okay? You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Keep the head still. Hold your head.
Cold.
All right, stand straight, feet together, hands by your side. Stumbling, unsteady, slurred.
I can't walk in these shoes. Oh, you're good.
You can't walk in them? You want to take them off?
It's fine.
All right, stand straight, feet together, hands by your side. All right, what I need you to do is imagine a straight line on the roadway in front of you, and go ahead, put your left foot on that line. And put your right foot in front of your left foot, heel to toe touching. Hands by your side. All right, you're gonna stay in that position until I tell you to begin, you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Once I tell you to begin, you take 9 heel to toe steps. I'm gonna take 3 for demonstration purposes, okay? Watch me. 1, 2, 3. You're gonna go all the way to 9. On that last step, you're gonna pivot on your lead foot and take a small series of steps for your other foot to turn around. Okay, watch you make the turn.
So pretty much like bachata.
All right.
I love it.
All right, once you make the turn, you're gonna take another 9 heel to toe steps to return. Again, I'm gonna take 3 for demonstration purposes, okay? Watch me. 1, 2, 3. You're gonna go all the way to 9. While you're doing this, just look at your feet at all times. Count your steps out loud. Keep your hands by your side at all times, and once you start, do not stop, okay?
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
All right, you may begin. Raised. Correct number of steps. Proper turn.
6, 7, 8, 9.
All right, stand straight, feet together, hands by your side. All right, you're gonna stay in that position until I tell you to begin. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Once I tell you to begin, you're gonna pick whichever foot you like, left or right, whichever you feel most comfortable with. You're gonna raise that foot approximately 6 inches from the ground, okay, like so. You're gonna count 1001, 1002, 1003, and so forth. You're gonna keep counting until I tell you to stop while you're looking at the toes of your foot at all times, okay?
Okay.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
All right, you may begin.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Gracefully
6,
drop.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34.
All right, go ahead, have a seat on my vehicle again. Right over here. All right, man, when this next one I tell you, you're going to take a deep breath. You're going to blow, keep blowing until I tell you to stop. Deep breath and blow. All right, hang over there. (106) 106. Turn around, put your hands behind your back. Relax your relax.
Are we taking my car?
I'll talk to you in a second about it.
I need to know because I need to know if.
You know anyone around here? Come get it.
Yes.
You give them a call, okay?
I don't know their phone number. I need my phone.
I'll get you your phone.
I need my phone inside my car. That's my right.
I'm gonna get it.
Can you get my phone now?
No, ma'am. I'm arresting you
Because
first.
I have my daughter. I have to get
Okay,
to.
relax.
No,
I'm gonna put you in my car and I'm gonna listen.
I need my phone to be able to get in
Okay.
contact with people.
I am gonna get your phone. Have a seat.
I need my phone.
Ma'am.
I can't wait.
Ma'am. Let me explain something to you.
I can't
Let me explain
wait.
something to you, okay? Let me explain something to you,
I
okay?
can't wait
I do
until
not
we
need
get-
to go get you your phone. Let me explain that to you first.
I got my daughter
Okay,
to worry
okay.
about.
Well, ask me nicely. Okay, you don't have to ask me more than once. I already said I'm gonna go get your phone.
Okay, thank you.
Okay?
Okay, thank
All
you.
right.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
I got her phone here, bro.
You have a phone?
Llama un doble, un taxi o alguien que pueda venir a recoger el carro, ¿ok? Que tenga licencia y con una firmada.
¿Están los dos tomados?
No tomado, no, pero.
¿Pero tomaron?
Sí, tomamos 2 cervezas. Pero mira, tengo licencia. Yo ando de visita. Yo tengo licencia de mi país. Puedo, no sé, por lo menos llevarme el carro a la casa.
¿Cuánto tú tomaste?
Una cerveza.
¿Estás seguro? No, ella dijo un trago también.
¿Quieres hacerme prueba? No hay problema.
Ok. Si yo te hago la prueba, yo te dejo que te accione el vehículo por ahí si ella está bien con acuerdo con eso, ¿ok?
Pero la van a herir o va a tomar.
No, ella va para la cárcel. Estoy diciendo para que... ¿Para cuánto ella se va a quedar en la cárcel? Como 4 a 6 horas.
Yo puedo ir a esperarla que salga para.
Sí.
¿Y dónde es la cárcel aquí? Es que
En Lawrenceville. Por la 316.
Sí, espero que 316. Sí, casi llegando a Dáquila. ¿A Dáquila? Sí, yo pongo aquí abajo yo.
Sí. Pues yo te chequeo ahora, dame un segundo. Can you PBT him, bro? See if one of them can drive. The one in the back says he only had one beer. Are you good with the guy in the back taking the car if he's good to drive? Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Well, here. I'll let you, you can grab it. Yeah. One of the back says he only had one beer. Where they got me at?
South. Oh, they changed it. I had you at 6140 earlier.
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
hey,
South.
I got pulled over. You have to. Hey, you gotta go to Peter's house. Peter's house.
149, 1028, negative 29, return to a Freightliner, truck trailer, out of
She said feed yourself?
Tunnel Hill, Georgia, registered to U.S. Express. What station am I going to be held?
Gwinnett County Jail. Gwinnett County Jail. In Lawrenceville.
In Lawrenceville. We get county jail in Nelsonville. Yes. Just me. Yes. Mija, no te digo para estar hablando.
Huh? The one in the back?
064.
The one in the back?
Yeah, the back.
We next. Yes.
You want that driver?
Hey, wait, sácame, güey. Yo te pago. Hey, sácame. Yo te pago, vale, vete.
I'm letting him park it.
Not parking right here.
Oh yeah, I guess if yeah. All right, ma'am, I gotta read something to you real quick, okay? I need you to listen carefully. There's gonna be a question at the end. Just need you to answer that question with a yes or no, okay? Yes. All right, this is Georgia Implied Consent Law. The state of Georgia has conditioned your police drive upon the highways of the state upon your submission to state administered chemical tests of your blood, breath, urine, and other bodily substances for the purpose of determining if you're under the influence of alcohol or drugs. If you refuse this testing, your Georgia driver's license or police drive on the highways of the state will be suspended for a period of 1 year. Let me just finish. Okay. Your refusal to submit to blood or urine testing may be offered in evidence against you at trial. If you submit to testing and the results indicate an alcohol concentration of 0.08 grams or more, your Georgia driver's license or police driving the highways of the state may be suspended for a period of 1 year. After first submitting to request state tests, you are entitled to chemical tests of your blood, breath, urine, and other bodily substances at your own expense of qualified personnel of your own choosing. Will you submit to the state administered chemical test of your breath? So that's just the roadside one. That's just says positive or negative. That has nothing to do with that. This is just a preliminary.
Why am I getting pulled over?
This is the state breath test. Do you want to?
So why am I getting pulled over?
Failure to maintain lane, ma'am. Do you want to take the state breath test?
Am I obligated to do it?
No, you're not.
Okay, then no.
Okay, I'm gonna read it to you one more time. Okay, the state of Georgia has conditioned your police drive upon the highways of the state upon your submission to state administered chemical tests of your blood, breath, urine, and other bodily substances for the purpose of determining if you're under the influence of alcohol or drugs. If you refuse this testing, your Georgia driver's license or police drive on the highways of the state will be suspended for a period of 1 year. Your refusal to submit to blood or urine testing may be offered in evidence against you at trial. If you submit to testing and the results indicate an alcohol concentration of 0.08 grams or more, your Georgia driver's license or police drive on the highways of the state may be suspended for a period of 1 year. After first submit to request state tests, you are entitled to chemical tests of your blood, breath, urine, and other bodily substances at your own expense of qualified personnel of your own choosing. Will you submit to the state administered chemical tests of your blood?
Yes.
You want to give me blood?
I mean, I had 2 margaritas. You're the one that knows more. I mean, I was at that place eating, and I had 2 margaritas.
I got you.
So,
I mean, do you want to give me blood? Yes or no? We take out blood from you?
Okay, I'm asking you. Should I get it or should I not?
Oh, I can't give you any advice. It's up to you.
I just had 2 margaritas. My nephew is in the hospital.
I got you. It's up to you if you want to do it. I can't force you to do it. It's completely up to you.
What if I don't? Let me ask you this.
It's completely voluntary. It's up to you.
No, I'm asking you, what is the consequences before getting a non-blood whatever test?
This is voluntary.
Okay, what if I don't volunteer to get a test? What is the consequence?
I can't watch them,
31-year-old Camilla Gamet, losing her mind just 3 hours after committing a brutal crime.
We have a situation that looks like you cold-bloodedly murdered somebody.
And now she can do nothing but sit back and watch as her life falls apart.
The honesty is probably the most important thing for you and going forward with your life.
What do you mean going forward with my life? You just told me I'm going to jail anyway, right?
I agree with the family. I hope you die in prison as well.
Living in their Jackson, Michigan apartment, 31-year-old Camilla Gamet and 38-year-old Marcel Hill were a mismatched couple. Marcel was a high school graduate and fast food worker, but life had dealt him a rough hand. He suffered from scoliosis and meningitis, had physical abnormalities, and was cognitively impaired because of fetal alcohol syndrome. These conditions were so debilitating that even managing basic tasks like paying bills was a monumental challenge. On the other hand, Camilla had issues too, but of a completely different nature. She lived in 13 different foster homes, had a history of domestic violence, and was known to abuse substances frequently. Although it seemed she found peace with Marcel during their relationship, it was for reasons far more sinister. In August of 2012, Camilla became Marcel's chore provider. In return, she received a portion of his SSI benefits, estimated between $1,000 and $3,000, and gained partial control over his finances. Over time, however, the relationship very quickly deteriorated as the two frequently got into physical altercations. By the end of 2013, Marcel was at his wit's end and wanted more control over his finances. But this is when everything began to go wrong. On March 3, 2013, Marcel reported to a hospital with a collapsed lung and sutures to his chest. 5 days later, on March 8th, Camilla hit him in the back of the head with a hammer. At the time, Marcel survived and decided not to press charges, despite warnings from his loved ones. This would prove to be a grave mistake. 2 months later, at 3 a.m. on May 18th, several 911 calls were made from the same number to report a man bleeding in an apartment in Lansing Avenue. When officers arrived, they discovered a horrific scene. The apartment was completely ransacked, and on a deflated mattress lay Marcel Hill, bludgeoned and stabbed to death. But where was the 911 caller? To find them, dispatchers pinged the phone the call was made from, and officers soon discovered Camilla covered in blood right outside the apartment. She was immediately brought in for questioning, though detectives had no idea just how unhinged she truly was. The following footage has been provided to us by the Jackson Police Department. After realizing that breaking out of handcuffs in a secure police station interview room is futile, Camilla does what any normal human accused of homicide would in this situation: nap for the next several hours until a detective walks in.
Camilla? Hi, my name's Gary Schutte. I'm a detective here with the police department. You mind sitting up for me for a minute?
When can I leave? I want to go home and go sleep.
Okay. Where do you live at?
I don't know.
What's that?
Not far.
Not far? You don't know your address?
Over Mason.
Mason Street?
Yes.
Okay. I need to talk to you a little bit.
Okay.
Right now you're in the police department and everything, so you know all that, right? And I think I dropped my pen. Hold on just 2 seconds. Okay? Slipped out here. You from Jackson?
Kinda.
Kinda?
Am I gonna be able to leave after this?
Well, I don't know.
Why?
I'll be honest with you. Because it's a pretty serious incident here.
They told me they just needed to talk to me after that.
You're right. We just do need to talk to you. You know, I don't understand. I want to understand exactly what's going on here.
Okay.
Okay? Now, do you spell your name with a C?
C-A-M-I-A.
C-A-M-I-A. Which is it?
Tiffany.
Tiffany's your middle? How do you spell that?
T-I-F-F-A-Y.
And how do you spell your last name?
G-A-M-E-T.
G-A-M-E-T. How far have you gone through school?
10.
What was the last school you went to?
Herbert Hoover.
What's it called?
Herbert Hoover.
Where's that at?
Iowa.
Oh my gosh. Can you read and write?
Yes.
Have you taken any drugs today?
No.
Any prescription drugs or anything like that?
No.
Okay. What about alcohol?
Yeah, I have some alcohol already.
How much have you had?
A couple beers at the bar.
What bar did you go to?
Jack's.
Where's that at?
Over by Manhattan's.
Okay. When's the last time you drank, you think?
What time is it now?
It's about 6 in the morning. Something like that, 6
Maybe 12. I don't know. It's that.
Do you feel like you're drunk right now?
No. Just cold. And tired.
You tired?
Yes, don't want to go to sleep.
Are you too tired to talk to me right now?
No, I'd like to talk to you so I could leave.
Okay. I have to read you your rights. Okay? Have you ever had your rights read to you before?
It depends. Just go ahead.
I'm sorry, you have or no?
I don't know. It depends on what.
Oh, you don't know what I'm
All
doing?
right, please.
Okay. Before you answer questions or make a statement, you must fully understand your rights. 1, you have a right to remain silent. 2, anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. 3, you have a right to consult with a lawyer before you answer questions or make a statement, and to have him present during questioning while making a statement. If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you before questioning or any time during questioning if you so desire. If you answer questions or make a statement without consulting a lawyer, having a lawyer present, you still have the absolute right to stop at any time you wish, answer no further questions, or make no further statement. Or you may at any time you wish stop answering questions or making a statement until you consult a lawyer or have a lawyer present during questioning. These are your rights, and what they say pretty much here is like on number 1, you don't have to speak with me if you don't want to. If you say something, it can be used against you in court. If you want a lawyer, you can have one at any point. If you can't afford one, they'll give you one and it won't cost you anything, so that doesn't have to be anything that you need to worry about, okay? And if at any point you want to stop, you can stop and that can't be used against you. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, so if that's the case, then I don't have to talk to you and I can have a lawyer, where can I go?
Well, at this point, we're investigating a homicide, okay?
You are investigating a homicide.
A homicide. Okay? So at this point, we're looking at this, and we're trying to figure out
So
exactly
you're
what
saying
happened.
that somebody is dead.
Somebody is dead.
And who is dead?
Marcel. Okay, does that make sense to you?
Marcel is dead.
Yes. Does that make sense to you that I said what I said, that Marcel was dead?
No, I didn't know him.
Okay.
If the lights are on but nobody's home was a person, it would be Camilla. Even though she has been dating Marcel for a year very publicly, she thinks she can get away with pretending not to know him. In part, however, this knee-jerk reaction could be because of the state she's in. When officers initially found her, she was inebriated and very clearly drunk. But exactly how drunk she is something that a breathalyzer test can answer.
What I would like you to do is take a preliminary breath test for me. Would you be willing to do that?
Yes.
See where your alcohol level is?
Yes.
Okay. deep breath and blow in there as hard as you can. One more time. Thank you. Okay. You're at 0.18. So you drink more than a couple of beers, huh?
No, I didn't.
No?
It was a pitcher of beer. I had a couple glasses.
Did you drink any other drinks?
No.
Okay. Do you feel alright to talk with me?
Yeah, what are you going to talk about?
Let me go through this real quick, alright?
Mm-hmm.
This just says that the above statement of my rights has been read and explained to me. I've had an opportunity to ask questions concerning my rights, and I now fully understand what my rights are. I wish to answer questions or to make a statement without consulting with a lawyer, have a lawyer present during questioning. Waive my rights to remain silent in the presence of a lawyer at this time. I wish to state no promises or threats have been made to me, against me, or any others. Okay, just need your signature there.
What am I signing for?
This says that I've read your rights to you, and that I haven't promised you anything. Okay. Can you date it too, please? Date 5/18 of 13. Thank you.
Despite her boyfriend having been brutally murdered just hours ago, Camilla is completely zoned out, unaware that she might even be a suspect. However, that is about to change very soon.
What I wanted to talk to you about was the last time you saw Marcel.
I was at a friend's house, okay?
Uh-huh.
She wanted to go over and see Marcel.
Okay.
When we got over there, it was dark. The door was open. I went in there. We went in there. Marcel was laying there with a lot of blood. She called the ambulance, and she panicked, and she left. Then I tried to wake Marcel up. He wasn't responding. I panicked, and I left. That's it.
Okay. About what time did you get there?
I don't know. I didn't look at the clock.
Was it before the police got there? Or just before?
It was before she called them, yes.
Okay. Who is your friend?
Her name is Ashley. That's all I know.
Ashley?
Yes, just Ashley.
What, do you know what her last name is?
No.
Is she a white girl, a black girl, Hispanic?
She's mixed.
Mixed, white and
Black
black?
and white.
How old is she?
She's about 25.
25? Can you describe her to me?
She's about 135 pounds, light skin. I can really describe me about 5'3". Short blonde hair right here.
Short what?
Short blonde hair right here. About right here.
Okay.
Ashley sounds like a pretty convincing character, until you realize that's all it is, a character, as Ashley doesn't exist at all. When Camilla attacked Marcel with a hammer, Marcel ran off to his cousin's house. While he was there, he stated that Ashley was an alias Camilla often used to call 911 after starting false arguments that she would leverage to assault Marcel. In a similar instance, Camilla stabbed Marcel in the chest with a knife and then stitched up his wounds herself. This incident was never reported to authorities. Even with such a well-documented history of abuse, this is only the beginning of Camilla's terrible, terrible lies.
When was the last time you saw Marcel?
When we went over there, before she called the ambulance.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Before then, when was the last time you saw him?
Earlier today. I don't remember what time.
Okay. Ashley called the ambulance, not you?
Yes. I don't have a phone.
Okay. Is he a boyfriend of yours?
No.
boyfriend of yours?
No, not exactly.
Can you explain to me what your relationship with him has been?
Just casual friends.
You have a sexual relationship?
We had before.
When's the last time you had a sexual relationship with him?
About 3 months ago.
Does Ashley have a sexual relationship with him?
Nothing.
Not that you know of?
No.
How long have you known Marcel?
10 years.
Where'd you meet him at?
Downtown when he lived, he used to live at the Adams Motel.
Okay. What's your address right now?
I'm kind of here and there.
Okay. Do you live there with Marcel?
No.
Your name's on the mailbox.
Okay.
Do you get mail there?
That name just got put in the mailbox like yesterday. Or something.
Who put it on there?
Marcel did.
Why'd you do that?
To get a piece of mail.
From your mail?
Yeah, because I'm in between places. I didn't have an address.
Okay. How did you get all the blood all over you?
I was trying to wake him up. And there was glass. I stepped in glass. It was broken glass. I stepped in glass. I don't know, nothing else.
Okay. Did you have an argument with him tonight at all?
No.
Nothing like that?
No.
I know that you've been in some arguments with him in the past.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like you guys have had a kind of a difficult relationship.
Well, we haven't had a relationship exactly, but yes, sometimes in the past we have. Okay.
It looks like, judging from some of the stuff that maybe he's been to you. Is that true?
Yes, sometimes, yes.
Was he to you tonight?
No.
It is tragic to see Camilla put all the blame on Marcel for the issues in their relationship. According to Marcel's case manager, Lorenz, the only thing he craved in life was normalcy, and his best shot at this was having someone he loved. Even in the face of all the violence he suffered, he still believed and told Lorenz that Camilla loved him. But for Camilla, it was never about love in the first place. Marcel's aunt went on to testify that she practically raised Marcel. For his entire life, he never had trouble with his money, but after he met Camilla, he started to be overdrawn on his bank accounts. She strongly believed that Marcel was being controlled by Camilla. Even besides these statements, detectives have a crucial piece of information that can verify if Marcel really was violent or not.
Some people heard you guys arguing tonight. What was your argument about?
I don't know about an argument, sir.
What's that?
I don't know about an argument.
Well, I'm just trying to understand this.
Okay. I don't know about an argument.
I don't mean to upset you.
No, you're not upsetting me. I'm upset that Marcel's dead.
Okay. What upsets you about that?
I've known him for years.
Okay.
Can you tell me what he died from?
Well, it looks like somebody killed him.
Are you sure that he's dead?
Yeah.
But you don't know exactly what made him die?
Well, right now it looks like somebody beat him up pretty bad.
How do you know he's dead?
I saw him.
You saw him, okay.
Mm-hmm.
You saw him where?
In his apartment.
Okay, well, does he go to the hospital?
Well, he will eventually.
What do you mean he will eventually?
When they move him from there, they will.
So he was already
dead. Yeah, he was already dead inside the house. The important thing here, Camilla, is for me to understand exactly what happened. One of the things here that I'm looking at, and I'm going to be completely honest with you here, it's really the only way I like to do things. I've gone through a little bit of yours and Marcel's history here, and Ashley is a name that you've used in the past to call in complaints on Marcel.
No, that was an accusation. I do have a friend named Ashley.
Ashley Jones was the name that I was told.
Can you do me a favor?
What's that?
Can you guys handcuff me and take me to where he is?
I can't do that. Camilla, the most important thing at this point is just to do some damage control here and let me know exactly what happened tonight. Sounds like you guys were arguing pretty good. According to the neighbors, they heard you. And they said that an argument was going on pretty good between you and he. And then it stopped.
On the day of the murder and leading up to it, several neighbors were first-hand witnesses to Marcel and Camilla's relationship. Michelle, a neighbor who moved into the area 2 weeks before Marcel's murder, reported that she heard Camilla say to Marcel, "Go ahead and hit me," but never saw Marcel actually strike or assault Camilla. Another individual living across from the couple's home also stated that on the day Marcel was killed, she woke up at 1:30 a.m. to see Camilla throwing dishes at Marcel as he was slouched on the floor.
And then, of course, we've seen you around the corner and you have all his blood on you.
Okay, what are you doing?
I'm trying to understand what happened. I'm just asking you questions.
I told you what happened.
But Camilla, that doesn't make sense.
Okay, well, I don't know what to tell you.
Well, I would hope that you'd be honest with me.
I am being honest with you. You're assuming that I'm not. I told you what happened. That's what happened.
Do you understand why I'm assuming that you're not being honest?
Yeah, I watched the first 48. This is what you guys do. You try to use the psychology, and guess what? It's not going to work. I told you what happened.
What happened?
I'm not going to repeat myself. Is this your notes right here?
Mm-hmm.
I said we went over there. It was dark. We went in there. You know what I'm saying? He was non-responsive. She called the ambulance. She panicked and left. I panicked and left. That was it.
Did you run away from the police?
No, I did not run away from the police. I just...
Did you throw your cell phone?
I don't. No, I don't have a cell phone.
You had a cell phone tucked up underneath your bra.
Yeah, it goes to my old cell phone. But
that we found in the backyard that the 911 call was made on.
Okay.
That's why I'm asking you these questions. I'm not trying to be a wise guy here. Camilla, here's what I think. I think that you've had a very difficult relationship with Marcel. I think that there's been a lot of things that have occurred between you and him. And I think ultimately it got to a point tonight where it just exploded. And I don't know if this was self-defense.
How do you know that he's dead? How do you know that he's dead?
Listen, I've been a cop for 22 years.
Just because you've seen him doesn't mean he's dead.
He's dead. He's not breathing. He has no pulse. He's cold. He's dead.
That was what you said. They didn't try to CPR or nothing.
It won't work. He's dead.
How do you know it won't work? If you saw him, how do you know he was dead? That's what I'm asking you.
I know dead. He's dead. Okay? I know what dead is, and he's dead. What you got to think about right now is what happened with you. You got to start thinking about you. And what's going on with you. Okay? And I need to understand what happened to you tonight. Or what was going on. You have a small cut on your hand there. How did that happen?
I don't know.
The cuts the detective refers to here are the injuries that Camilla was covered in after Marcel's murder. When she was arrested, her feet were bleeding from cuts sustained in the apartment, and her extremities were also covered in similar injuries.
Some people heard you talking about him using cocaine tonight. Was he using?
I don't know. I told you, I just got there. I don't know.
Camilla, this story is not going to work for you. This doesn't work. None of this makes sense.
It's the true. Why did you ask the people at the bar? Ask them.
The people at the bar weren't at your house.
Yeah, well, somebody gave me a
People
ride.
at the bar weren't over at Marcel's. Who was the person that gave you
I
a
don't
ride?
know. It was a stranger. He asked me if I needed a ride.
Did he give just you a ride?
Yes.
How did Ashley end up there?
I walked to Ashley's house.
Where does Ashley live?
I don't know. She just moved. She was down somewhere down by Lansing Avenue.
Camilla, see, that doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Okay, look, you're starting to get on my nerves with this psychology shit, telling me that everything I'm saying to you doesn't make sense. I'm sorry, it doesn't make sense. It's just the truth.
Listen, I don't know if you think I got a magic wand or what. I'm not a psychologist.
I mean,
I'm
you
here
keep
telling
saying
you,
that everything
listen,
doesn't make sense.
Here, listen. Let me make perfect sense to you. Okay? Marcel is in there. There's blood everywhere, and he's dead. Okay? You were in there beforehand, and you had an argument with him. Okay? There was no one else there, and he's dead. You ran away from the scene. The cops caught you. You got his blood on you. That's not psychology. Those are facts. The stuff that you're telling me doesn't add up. And what I'm trying to do is find out why you're telling me this shit when I already know the rest of the stuff. That's what I'm trying to understand. And what I'm worried about here, and I'm not playing psychologist with you, and I've watched too much TV, but what I'm worried about here is that we have a situation that looks like you cold-bloodedly murdered somebody and then tried to escape the scene, when in actuality, maybe there was a domestic fight going on and you were protecting yourself. That's what I'm trying to get to the bottom of here. And right now you're giving me this clouded bullshit because you're worried. But this ain't gonna work. And that's what I'm telling you.
Well,
there's too many other people.
No, I'm not worried. I'm not worried. I'm upset because he's dead.
Well, I would be upset if I were in your shoes too. Because this is very important stuff. And this stuff doesn't go away. And it won't end. That's why I'm asking you for the truth about what happened tonight.
What are my options right now? Are you guys keeping me regardless or what? Can you just tell me?
Well, Camilla, I haven't completely made a decision about that yet. But right now, when I listen to this story, this does not make any sense. No sense at all.
But I don't have a lawyer, so if I talk to you next day, I know you're going to be hitting me with some serious charge. I want to know if I can leave.
Well, here's the thing, all right? Do you want to tell me what's going on? Or am I wasting my time?
No, what I'm telling you is that I don't have a lawyer here, and I know...
You don't. You don't have a lawyer here.
And I know that things could be used against me. I want to know
absolutely
if I
not.
can leave. That's what I want to know. They
Right
told
now-
me they were just going to talk to me and let me leave.
Right now, you cannot leave. No. Now, do you want to talk to me? Do you want a lawyer? What do you want to do?
If I want a lawyer, then what, am I going to jail?
If you want a lawyer, regardless of whether or not you want a lawyer, that doesn't matter. Okay? That's not going to be used against you.
What do you mean?
If you want a lawyer, I'm not going to be vindictive and say you're going to jail. All right? You're going to go to jail either way.
I'm going to jail either way.
Yeah. What I want to know is whether or not you want to tell me what really happened.
Can you please? You can't take me to him.
No. I mean, obviously, you're very upset about this, okay? And I
If I
understand.
go to jail, I'm not going to be able to see him. I just need to see him, please.
I know you're very upset. I know this is really hard for you. I'm very sorry.
See what happened at the end, bro.
After being arrested, Camilla continued to lie, even in court. Her defense argued that after the two of them smoked marijuana and cocaine, they went to sleep. During this time, Camilla allegedly felt there was an intruder in the dead of night. In response, she grabbed a lamp, started swinging it, and after feeling like she knocked the attacker down, she just happened to grab a knife and stab him repeatedly. But after realizing that this was Marcel, she panicked and ran away. We'll let the judge explain why exactly that story doesn't work out for her.
And you end up probably in some kind of domestic, ultimately hit him in the head so hard with a pan that you actually cave in the front of his skull. And then you him no less than 12 times. And you know what? I was the only one in the courtroom that knew what kind of knife that was. And it was a big old long fillet knife. Because I used it to fillet pike and muskie and salmon. And I'll tell you, you gutted him like a fish in that apartment too. You were relentless. You stabbed, you stabbed, you stabbed, you stabbed, you stabbed until he was dead. You didn't think he was an intruder. You know, maybe one stab wound. Okay, maybe that's 7 defense. But you put in 11 more to make sure he was good and dead. So I agree with the family. I hope you die in prison as well. You know, if this was a death penalty state, you'd be getting the chair. You have 42 days to appeal my sentence if you think I've legally erred anyway.
On April 16th, 2014, Camilla was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility for parole, along with the not-so-subtle well wishes from the judge.
You're either a cold-blooded killer or a guy who was just taking care of business. Which one are you? Which one do you want the community to see? Because don't let John and I leave here today thinking, holy, I guess he's just a cold-blooded shooter. That's all he is.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Just 2 days prior, Michael Thigpen killed an innocent man to satisfy his own sick desires. And now, he thinks he can get away with it. However, detectives are already several steps ahead, because all of Michael's crimes were caught on camera.
We have you right there at the time of the shooting. We have people saying this loud car sped off and then showing us their camera showing that exact vehicle.
I'm scared.
What scared you about it?
I mean, 1, a guy's dead. 2, I did it and I'm gonna be locked up for it.
On November 20th, 2019, at 1:39 a.m., the Michigan State Police received reports of a man down in the roadway on Cobb and Maple Streets. When responding officers arrived, what they found wasn't a drunk man collapsed on the ground, but 54-year-old Roosevelt Thompson fighting for his life, surrounded by .45 caliber shell casings. Although paramedics and first responders tried to resuscitate him, his injuries were fatal. 2 gunshot wounds to the head and 1 in the chest. And finding the likely killer proved to be easier than imagined because just days after an investigation was launched, cops received an anonymous tip. According to this individual, the murderer was Michael Thigpen, a convict who had served time in federal prison because of several firearm-related offenses. Now, he allegedly used a .45 caliber pistol to murder an innocent man. But why would a convict ruin his chance at a new life by killing someone he wasn't even connected with? Was there more to the story than met the eye? To answer these questions, Michael was brought in for an interview on November 22nd, just 2 days after the murder. The following footage has been provided to us by the Michigan State Police via FOIA request.
You willing to talk to us this time?
What about?
You know what? There's a few different things we need to discuss. If it's something that you're not comfortable talking about, or if it's something you don't have an answer to or don't know, you simply, we're not going to force you to talk. You know what I mean? So does that sound fair? Mm-hmm. Okay. We kind of figured out you live in Grand Rapids. Did you grow up in Kalamazoo?
Yeah.
Okay. When did you move out?
I got locked up when I was 17.
Okay.
And I really haven't been back since.
Okay.
I was here for about 6 months and I left.
Okay. And you might have a kid on the way with a girl that you're seeing down here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Run me through your day today before coming down here to talk to us.
Well, I went to Secretary of State. Then what did I do? Oh, well, first I went to my brother's house in Vicksburg. Then I went to Secretary of State. And then I went downtown to the Plasma Donation Center.
Oh, nice. What did they give you, 50, 35?
Was it 75 or something like that?
Ain't bad.
And then I left and I got called. I was going to take a friend because the friend's car I had, she let me borrow it.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to take her to work.
Okay.
I went to go pick up the girl, Deanna.
The girl you're dating?
Yeah.
Okay.
To go pick her up and
you get picked up. Whose car is this that you're talking about?
Her name's Tori.
Okay.
Rivera.
Tori Rivera.
Just a friend of mine.
Okay.
If you can call sleeping together as being friends, then Tori definitely qualifies as such. What Michael likely didn't expect was the fact that this secret relationship would blow up in his face, because when cops spoke to Tori, she revealed a number of important details. Firstly, their relationship began several months prior to this incident, and during this time, Michael would often spend his nights at Tori's apartment. This was also true for the night before the murder on Tuesday, November 19th, when Michael left Tori's apartment at 9 p.m. in her blue Ford Escape. He only returned nearly 6 hours later, on November 20th at 2:45 a.m., timing that coincides exactly with Roosevelt's death. Secondly, just a few days prior, Tori returned from work to find her apartment turned upside down. Just recently, her mother had given her 2 guns, a .45 caliber pistol and a .357 revolver, both of which were now missing. This is when she began to suspect Michael, who was the only person who knew about the presence of these weapons.
And who did she live with? She got like kids or husband?
She's a daughter.
Okay. She got a husband, boyfriend? Okay. And how long you been knowing her for?
About a few months.
Okay. Just a few months, and she's cool letting you use her car and all that and crash there? Okay.
Well, it's been about 5 months now.
Okay. I guess when was the last time you stayed in Grand Rapids at your house?
A couple days ago.
Okay. Today's Friday. What day would that?
I was there. I was there until Thursday.
Okay.
I stayed there last night. And, I was in Allegan, and then I stayed, like I said, halfway in Allegan, half in Kalamazoo.
Mm-hmm.
So until Wednesday, I guess I would say.
Okay, so Wednesday, what time do you come down to Kazoo on Wednesday, or this area?
I wasn't here Wednesday.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you just said till Wednesday.
No, I stayed in Grand Rapids till Wednesday. Then I got picked up around 2:30 from Grand Rapids by Tori.
2:30
a.m.
Mm-hmm. On Wednesday. It would be Thursday morning, technically?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not trying to confuse you. I just, sometimes when it's morning hours, it's confusing. All right. Now, what are you on paper for?
Yeah, federal, it's firearms.
Okay, so gun charge? Okay. Yeah, any types of drugs? Not that type of thing, okay. And Thursday you're in Allegan, so you weren't in Kalamazoo until, let's say, Friday?
No, I came down here Thursday afternoon.
Okay.
So it was about Thursday, about 2, around 2.
2 a.m.?
No, 2 p.m.
2 p.m., okay. Oh yeah, because you got picked up at 2:30 a.m. All right. Before that day on Thursday, when was the last time you were in Kalamazoo?
Was it Sunday or something like that? Saturday.
Okay. And what do you do when you're down here Sunday or Saturday?
I have to see my family, and me and her hang out.
You and Tori or Deanna?
Deanna.
Okay. All right. You're certain you weren't here any day before Thursday?
Yes.
All right. Is there any way we can verify that?
I live with my sister, so I'm always there.
Up in Grand Rapids, you do?
Yeah.
What's her name?
Shavonda Wells.
How do you spell it?
SHAVONDA. Wells, WELLS.
Shavonda did indeed verify information, but not the kind you're expecting. Allegedly, Michael told her that something had happened and he didn't know what to do about it. but because there was an ongoing feud between the two of them, she didn't bother to hear him out. It was only when Shavonda reached out to Michael's real girlfriend, Diana, who he was cheating on, that she found out he still had guns despite being on federal probation. This means that there are now 2 statements that verify he owned guns and was acting strange, so bringing Shavonda up was not a very smart thing to do on Michael's part. Because in the face of witness statements like this, he might as well serve a confession on a silver platter for detectives.
Well, I'm here to tell you that people are saying undoubtedly that you were here before Thursday. Okay,
Who can say that I was?
Well, there's
nobody but my family that I come down here and see. I don't know anybody here.
Sure. No, and the thing of that is, it's not necessarily people per se. You know, I know that you're not hanging out with a bunch of people, know a bunch of people down here, but it's 2019 technology. Is kind of one of those things that really helps us out with different things. So yeah, you got location services, you have cameras, you have license plate readers, you have doorbells with cameras in them, all sorts of different things. And through those things, those are showing that you're down here, that you were down here earlier in the week. And I'm just wondering why you're not being truthful about that.
I wasn't down here earlier in the week. I told you when I got down here Thursday, I was in Grand Rapids.
Okay.
Until then.
Okay.
I mean, I think I left, like I said, Sunday, Saturday?
Sure.
I was here Sunday or Saturday.
Yep. But you were also here Tuesday going into Wednesday as well. You may have been back up in GR on Thursday. I'm not gonna
just
doubt you.
confused on the dates. That's all. That happens to me all the time.
It could be. Today's Friday. Is it possible that you're confusing Thursday with the other day? Because you were here. We have you driving your vehicle that you were in today here, and also you on camera. So in that vehicle, I'm just wondering, are you confused on the dates? Perhaps is that a possibility?
Probably.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Basically, what John's saying is this. And would you like to go by Mike or Michael?
Either.
Okay, Mike. Mind if I call you Mike? Okay, Mike. Let me tell you this. Here's what happens. A couple things that you got to realize. Technology is there's technology everywhere. Like John's saying, everything from your cell phone, and you got to realize too, Mike. And I don't know how much they tell you when you're on federal probation or parole.
Probation. They don't have parole.
Okay. When you're on federal paper, okay, they do more tracking than they probably let you know. There's more to your phone than you probably realize. Okay, so we get a pretty good idea of your movements anytime we want. Now it's not like they're sitting there monitoring your movements all the time. Okay, but when you're using that car, and you've been in that car for a few days now. Okay, that I can tell you. All right, and I can show you some video later on if you want us to show you that. All right.
I'm not denying that.
Okay, good, perfect. And I know you're not. That's why I just think you're confused on the days, okay? Because I don't think you're sitting here running a game on me. I really don't, okay? I don't think you're just doing that. But we have all this technology, okay? We have plate readers on the freeway now. There's plate readers at intersections, all kinds of bullshit, plus your phone, all those kinds of things, okay? So when we start tracking your movements and somebody says, hey, this plate reader was in this area, or we had this happen in this area, and this is what the plate reader told us, and that car is loud as shit, too.
Yeah, it is.
An examination of this car, which belonged to Tori, revealed a dent in the driver's door beneath the handle. But oddly enough, there was nothing to indicate that the car was used to hit someone, due to an absence of major damage and bloodstains. The only other clue was a bag containing a .45 ACP cartridge, which is oddly convenient considering that Michael stole the same caliber pistol from Tori.
Okay, so not only can we see it, dog, we can hear it. Okay, so we know where you've been, okay? So they start tracking your movements electronically. And then when something happens, we go backwards, and at 2 or 3 different locations, we've got your car. Okay, we got the plate, we got pictures, we got all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
All right, so that's why I'm saying, don't be afraid to say, oh, I don't know if it's a probation thing, or don't be, oh yeah, I came down here on Monday, or I've been here laying with this girl for whatever. Maybe you don't want to get in trouble with your girl. I get it. You've been down here. Let's just admit that.
I have been down.
Gotcha. Very good. So you've been down here for how long?
I leave I'm not here like all the time.
Okay.
I leave and I come back. So.
But let's say you've been down here, well, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all this week you've been down here, correct?
Have I? I don't know.
You have. I'll just tell you have.
Okay, if you say so.
Yeah, and I'm not being argumentative. I'm just telling you have.
Okay.
Technology tells me. Like I said, technology is
safe.
You have been. Okay. I'll go back and look at the records here before too long. But the bottom line is you have been down here, and there's no sense us sitting here playing cat and mouse on that. All right. So when we're down here, technology puts you down here, you're like, yeah, I've probably been down here. Maybe not all week, but I've been down here most of the week. Okay. Agreed?
For the past couple weeks, yeah.
Past couple weeks you've been down here, correct? Good. Thank you. I appreciate it, because that's what it's showing me.
Right.
Okay. And
like I said, I was in Grand Rapids. I've been in Grand Rapids. I've been in Allegheny.
Yeah.
I've been
in Kalamazoo.
Right.
Yeah, you've
But you've been down here for a couple weeks.
Right.
There's breaks where you go places. I'm not saying you don't. Okay. But what we do is this. So now we've got all this technology. All right. And then we'll have an incident. Let's say, for example, and I'm just going to use an example here. That I'm not accusing you of this. Okay. Something gets stolen. All right. So what we do is we go back. We start looking at technology. All right. We look at different video cameras. We look at plate readers. We look at Ring doorbells. We look at all those kind of things. And let's say we see something on there where, man, something's loud as shit. There's a loud car on there. It's an interesting color, by the way. And, man, we got a plate reader 2 miles away that says it was this. Mm-hmm. So we ratchet that up. We figure out who's in that car. Boom. Then we go to, we can get up on your cell phone pretty good. Okay? So now we can tell from all those different bits of technology. Hell, it ain't even us. It's easy. I mean, shit's not even fun anymore because we don't even get to do any cool work no more. Right. We don't get to surveil anybody. We don't get to do all the cool detective shit, right? We just sit here like a bunch of office people, okay? And get soft. Clerical. Good way to put it.
Yep. Clerical.
So once that happens, then all of a sudden we go and boom, we draw a beat on you, okay? And when, oh, geez, this guy was here. I wonder what his story is. Okay, then we go, okay, yeah, we work other stuff. There's a lot of shit going on in the city. Then, man, something else happens. And so then by the time it ends, there's 2 or 3 things that we start putting together.
One of the many pieces of technology that this detective loves is cameras. In the aftermath of the shooting, several locals came forward, providing footage from their Ring doorbell cameras which captured the very same Ford Escape that Michael was driving at the crime scene. And if you thought this was incriminating, it only gets better from here, as the detective is about to release a motherload of evidence.
So here it is. I'm going to lay this out to you. We have a thing called Shot Tracker as well. Okay?
I don't know what that is.
Nobody does. Okay? I've been telling you some shit about technology that I probably should be keeping to myself, but I think it's exciting. I'm old and technology's kind of cool. Okay? We have a thing called Shot Tracker. So what we do is this. It monitors where shots go off. Okay? And it's done by cell phone and through satellites. So we can pinpoint when shots go off, and it literally puts it on a map for us.
Okay.
Okay? So we start monitoring shots. For example, up off of Ravine Road, we get a group of shots. Like 4 to 6 shots. Okay? Looks like maybe it's being fired into some water or something. From best we can tell from the echo patterns and all those kind of things. Okay? So boom, we put all that together. They look at the map. We look at plate readers. We look at technology. And then finally we pull up your cell phone and we can say, bam, this guy was right there at that time. Okay? So that's one thing I want to ask you about. Okay? So obviously you were in the area. Maybe you heard it. Maybe you saw it. I don't know. I'm not accusing you of it. Okay?
Well, like when I had the car, I ride around pretty much everywhere.
Do you?
Yeah.
You remember being up in that area?
I mean, I don't know what day it was, but it probably was.
Probably was. Did you see or hear anything right around that time? Because we got your plate, we got your cell phone, we got all that shit with the echo pattern, and I mean, you're close, dog. You very well could have seen it or heard it.
I have the music up loud.
Okay, did it sound like a backfire maybe to you or something like that?
I can't really hear it. You know the car is loud.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Music, so.
Okay. So we got that one. So you always play, and that damn car's loud too. Right. Okay, so your car sounds like a backfire a lot of damn times, right? Okay, so we got that one. Okay, so now you keep going on and you get other incidents that happen in the area. The other night over on Amsterdam. Boom, shot patterns again, 5 to 6 shots. Okay, boom, 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 shows up on our big technological center. All this CSI bullshit, okay? So once again, they put all that together. What's there again? Plate reader, less than a mile away on the north side. Got a Ring doorbell on that street, and we got your cell phone.
The doorbell that has a
camera.
Yes, what it was.
Yeah,
a camera.
I thought I was the only one that didn't know what that was. Damn, I like this guy. I knew there's a reason I liked you. He's not a technology guy. I love it. I'm not either. But that's why I'm telling y'all, because I think it's pretty cool and it's amazing. And technology doesn't lie. You know, John might have an agenda. He might not like you. Okay? Technology doesn't care who you are. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Once again, Amsterdam. So we got a place over, I think it was Ravine Road up by some water. Okay, boom, boom, got a bunch of shots there. Boom, 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 now we're down on Amsterdam. Same thing, same information it tells us. That's when we start looking for you. That's when we start piecing things together. Because we want to say, shit, is it this guy or is he, what can this guy tell us? That's where we're at. Can you tell me?
No.
And I'll tell you, I'll be honest with you. And just don't bullshit me too much. Because and we're used to that a little bit, okay? But the bottom line is technology doesn't lie. Technology is going to place you at some place, okay? One time I could excuse, twice is statistically, science tells us it doesn't happen. And then, once again, technology, okay? So we got your Ravine Road, which we're good with. May or may not have been there. I get it. Like I said, one time I can excuse, okay? Twice, now I'm a little suspicious, okay? I'll be honest with you.
Okay.
All right? Obviously, you're in the same area where shots are fired twice, okay? Third time, 1:30. What do we have, John?
1:30-ish, a little before 1:30.
A little before 1:30, we get another series of shots, okay? I think it was three shots, okay? We're in the area of Cobb and Mabel. That's on the north side. You familiar with that?
Yeah,
You drove through there?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, I was just over there this morning.
Yeah, tell me what you saw, because that's the video that I have. I have you on the Ring doorbell, driving through there. I have the technology of the shots telling me you're there, and I also have your cell phone track. Because remember, I know at 2:38 you're back up in Allegan.
Mm-hmm.
So at that 1:30-ish, you're at Cobb and Mabel. Tell me what you see and what you hear.
Nothing. I'm just driving.
You're just driving?
Yeah.
Do you remember what you were looking for? What you were doing?
No, I don't do anything. I just this is what I do. I ride around because it clears my mind. That's it. That's all
cool.
I do.
Yeah.
I drive and then I go.
Were you with anybody when you're driving up there on Amsterdam, and when you're driving there at Cobb and Mabel? Are you with anybody?
No.
No, you're solo.
Yeah.
Okay. No.
I mean, I can't.
No girls with you?
No.
Are you calling anybody? And I know you are, because that's how we track you, is through the calls. It bounces off towers, and plus your mapping, so we know all that.
I don't know who I called that. If I was over there at 1 or whatever, I don't know who I called.
It might just be your Google Maps. I don't know. These technology guys just feed me information. That's all I know. So I do know that right around that time, the 1:30 time-ish, you're at Cobb, Mabel, Cobb, Elizabeth. I know earlier, probably 12:30, I can't remember memory. You come off of Elizabeth, then go south onto Cobb also. So you remember, you're obviously circling it. And you're also over at one time, you're also over by the Polar Bear. You remember that?
In that area.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all in the
and we also have that on camera as well. They got
I was over there a couple times. I went there and bought a couple different Red Bulls.
That night?
Yeah.
From the Polar Bear?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what time that was?
Nope.
Okay. I can look it up. Yeah.
What are you doing cruising the block?
I just ride, like I said, I ride around because I got nothing else to do.
It is important to translate Michael's speak here from nothing else to do to I was itching to shoot someone and riding around to hunt someone down. This is because, according to the anonymous witness, Michael frequently expressed his desire to shoot and kill the next person he sees. So much so that he had bought a box of bullets and a magazine for the stolen .45 and would frequently visit Ravine Road to empty bullets into a body of water. But fueled by his urges, Michael left crucial evidence behind, shell casings at the locations where he did his test runs. When officers collected these casings and ran forensics on them, they were covered with Michael's DNA. Additionally, they were found to be similar to the casings found at the scene of the crime, positively linking Michael to the crime. Even Michael's girlfriend, Diana, admitted that while she was on the phone with him 4 hours before the shooting, he continuously expressed his desire to shoot the next person he saw. In the face of this irrefutable evidence, it isn't going to take long before Michael begins to crack.
This is why I'm over there, because nobody over there at that time.
So we kind of established that you're in that area. You're riding around. You just like to ride, you clear your head. Ain't nothing illegal with that, is it?
Right.
Okay, so here's what we do. A lot of technology I'm throwing at you, okay? It's amazing. So we get all this technology, and then we go to the scene. Like Kalamazoo Township Police is up on Amsterdam, okay? The other place up by the water, that's where we know we can target where those shots were, so we can go right there. Okay? So we do that, and guess what we recover at those places?
Probably some shells.
Exactly. Shell casings, what we call shell casing. You know what I mean? Just the remainder little part of the bullet. Ping, comes popping out of a gun. Okay? And so we recover those. And at that point, we start tracking that. Okay? Every shell casing is traceable or trackable.
Yeah.
Okay? If you got hit by the feds, you probably know more about that shit than I do. Them folks are, they're some wizards with science, right? They are, you gotta admit. So they can track it. They can tell where those bullets were bought. Okay? And then we match up where those bullets were bought, for example, in this case, on target. Okay? So we know where those were purchased. Make sense so far? You tracking me? Okay. So we find those, so we got the bullets that came back to on target, and then we also take DNA samples. Okay? Now sometimes it's a crapshoot because we don't know who the hell touched it. But in this case, remember, we've been putting together for days now all this stuff. And we've now drawn a bead on you, haven't we? We know. Same car, same phone, same location. Okay? I said, for example, on target.
Right.
Okay? So, and I'll have to confirm where they came from. I can narrow that down for you. So, and then we take, and if anybody's ever touched those bullets, we can get contact DNA. Contact DNA, for example, is if I take John's glasses and do that, guess what?
I know what that is.
Gotcha, yeah. You're a smart man. So then we get DNA off those shell casings, okay? And then we have the feds process that because you're on federal paper, so we get an upgrade to process those. And lo and behold, guess what?
I'm on there.
Yeah.
Right.
Can you give me any explanation why your DNA is on those shell casings?
Because I shot the gun, probably.
Thank you. We got shell casings at the water spot that got your DNA on them, and we got shell casings on the Amsterdam. Sorry, thank you, John.
Did you shoot into the woods or just in the air?
No, I shot it in the woods. It was in the water.
What kind of gun we talking about? Just so I know you're not bullshitting me.
We know.
We know.
We
have
know.
the casings.
It was a 45.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. Very good.
Fair enough.
Michael, in all his glory, has just admitted to firing the same gun, the same ammunition, and leaving behind the same bullet casings as those found at the crime scene. But this is only the tip of the iceberg labeled Michael's confession, as he will slowly begin to divulge even more incriminating information.
In some questions we ask you, Mike, we probably already know the answer to, or we may know the answer to.
Right.
We're just looking to see how truthful you're willing to be with us, all right? So that way we can say one way or the other, yeah, the guy, you know what, he's out having a good time, he popped off some rounds, big deal. All right, but if it, like Gary said, if we're sitting here, we don't want to play cat and mouse games. We don't want to bullshit you, and we don't want you to do the same to us. All right.
Yeah.
So, obviously those casings, they match up. Each casing, in addition to the science he's talking about, they're unique. So if I take my gun and I shoot a bullet, the casing, and stop me if you already know this, each casing is unique, just as unique as someone's fingerprints are. The ejector puts a little mark on it. Some scientists that are smarter than myself look at it and they're able to say, okay, yep, this came from this exact type of gun, and they can match those up. So they can say, okay, these casings match up with these ones, which match up with these ones. Okay. So let's talk about the casings that are found again later that night.
Okay.
From that same gun. Tell me about that.
I don't know about that one.
Sure you did.
I didn't have the gun though anymore then. I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
What happened to it? Tell me, what happened?
I sold it.
Who? Tell us about that.
I'm not gonna tell you who I did it to, but.
Well, why not?
Because why would I do that? I could get them in trouble.
Well, I think you need to worry about Mike right now. All right. Let's not worry about someone else getting someone else in trouble. Let's focus on this.
Well, I can't. I'm just not gonna do that. So.
Okay. It's not likely that you sold that gun. Okay, because you're.
I mean.
Well, it may be gone now. It may be gone now. All right, Mike. I'm not going to doubt you on that. But the chances of you selling it between 10 and 1 o'clock.
How's that not probable?
Well, because your car, that very loud vehicle.
There's more than just one loud vehicle.
Yeah, but it's yours, and like Gary said, I'd be more than happy to show you a video of it.
Okay.
It shows you right there, right at the scene where those last casings are found from that same gun.
With your DNA.
With your DNA at the time, moments before the shooting.
What's the point of the questions then?
Well, because I'm trying to get a little rationalization here, Mike. I'm just trying to get a little rationalization. All right? You know what I mean by that?
Yeah, I know what rationalization is. I mean, trying to understand what.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. Just trying to figure out.
There's reasons why things happen.
There's always two sides to every story. And we just want to get your side of it, okay? That's all.
There's no side because, like I said, there's very few people that I know over there, so why would I have a reason to do something to whatever happened to anybody over there?
I don't know. I can't answer that question.
I'm not stupid.
No, you're not stupid at all.
No,
You're
I'm
not
saying
dumb at all.
why I'm here. Like,
You're pretty
you wouldn't be
clever,
questioning
actually.
me
Yeah.
if something didn't happen.
Sure, and you watch the news. You know what happened, right?
No, I didn't.
You've
I
seen.
actually didn't watch
Oh, okay. But I mean, it's not a coincidence that the same casings are found at all these places that match up with the same gun, and your vehicle is seen and heard at all these places and described by people, because there are some crackheads that are walking that time of the night, in addition to crackheads, prostitutes, whoever that are out milling around. I mean, it's the north side at, it's not even 2 o'clock in the morning, Polar Bear's still open, people are still milling around, in addition to these cameras, all right? So the odds of you selling the gun within that short amount of time, someone else being in your exact vehicle, and then that being used right there.
There's no reason why I would do something when I don't know anybody. There's very few people that I know over there, so why would I have a reason to do something to somebody?
This investigation conclusively shows, and we can't go backwards, all right? We know we wish we could. We've all done things in our lives that's out of character for us, or we got caught up in a bad situation. That's kind of what we're trying to tell you. Things happen on the north side of Kalamazoo, okay? There was a homicide there the week before, okay? So we know how dangerous it can be. Any city, not just Kalamazoo, but any city has its problems, okay? So when you're riding around, bad shit can happen. And this guy that this happened to, he's not exactly a saint. We know that, okay? So you got to make a decision here today, Mike, okay? Yeah, I'm kind of hit here in terms of being there, doing this, doing that. I'm already in trouble for this. I get it. But, man, you got to make a risk. It's a business decision for you right here, Mike. Do you sit here and ride this out and let technology and science speak for you, and witnesses and plate readers and all those kind of things tell your story? Or do you try to get out in front of us and saying, you know what? Man, it's a bad thing that happened, but this is why it happened. And it wasn't what I wanted to have happen. That's what you got to decide. What is it, one way or the other?
I don't know who the you're talking about.
Okay. All right. I'll give you a little background here, okay? Because here's what you got to decide. You got to decide right now, here today, whether you're just some kind of cold-blooded guy who shoots somebody, or was there a reason? Did I have a beef with this man? Did I have a conflict with this man? Did he try to do something to me? Which one is it? Are you the kind of guy who's just a cold-blooded shooter, or are you the guy who... There's a reason. We've all done shit out of character. We've all had situations happen to us.
Somebody, some random person.
So that's not you. You're not this guy, are you? So then you must be this guy. Because don't let John and I leave here today thinking, holy shit, I guess he's just a cold-blooded shooter. That's all he is. Okay? Which guy are you? Are you the cold-blooded shooter?
Something like this would have happened before, wouldn't it?
Not necessarily, no. No, absolutely not. It doesn't happen at all.
There's a first time for everything.
Absolutely. So which one are you? Are you this guy over here? Because the investigation conclusively shows that we don't have any choice. Are you this guy over here who I just feel like doing it, I'm going to do this, feels good to me? Or, man, this shit happened, it was dicey, I can't believe I survived this is what happened. Which guy are you?
Neither of them.
Neither. You got to be one or the other, because we have you there.
Okay.
You can try to ride this out and let science and technology and witnesses tell your story. Or you can get on your own bus and stand up for yourself, be your own advocate, let us try to help you, let us try to follow up things for you.
There's nobody that can tell you that I was there when that happened,
sure
because I wasn't there when that happened.
We absolutely have you.
Okay.
All day long.
And it's not just people.
Like
science,
you said, Mike. Science, like you said, science got to do it, because I wasn't right there.
You were, but
I wasn't right there when that happened.
You know how we could easily dispel it? Who is it you sold the gun to?
I'm not going to tell you that.
They would have had to have used it in such a short amount of time.
Where do you remember selling it? You'll tell us who it is. Where do you remember selling it to?
I'm not going to tell you.
It's not that Michael doesn't want to tell them who he sold it to, but more so that he can't. This is because the gun disappeared right after the murder, almost as if it vanished into thin air. With no leads to follow, it was almost certain that Michael disposed of it. But where exactly it is something that detectives need to find out in order to build the case against Michael even more.
What is it that led up to this? What did this man do prior to you having to shoot him?
I didn't shoot him, so that's that.
Well, he didn't shoot himself.
I didn't shoot him, so I mean.
Did you see the girl that was with him just probably a minute or two before? Did you see that girl?
No.
Did you see the tall guy when you were leaving the scene? Did you see the tall guy in the tan jacket? Did you see him?
You keep saying leaving the scene, but whatever.
Well, when you were driving away.
When you're driving away, sorry.
Driving away. Leaving the scenes of.
When you're in the area driving. There's no I can't make that up. I can't change that.
I mean,
right?
I mean, if you say I was there, I was near it.
You're not going to dispute that you
likely was near it.
Absolutely,
if you got GPS evidence that shows I was near it, I was
1,000%
near it.
Right.
But did I see what happened? No, I didn't.
So here's the fear. Here's what you got to work on too. And I appreciate the fact that maybe you sold this gun to somebody.
Yeah, I think it's gone. Shit, this happened however many days ago, and it's got a body on it.
It's gone now. I guarantee it's gone. But here's the fear. Let's say I'm not going to talk, okay? Then somebody's probably going to wrap this murder around you. Because we're at 90% of everything else we're good with. We know you're there. We know all the other stuff. We got all the shots. We're good. Boom, 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 boom. Here. So now we're at that little tiny bit there where you sold the gun to somebody, and you're in that area, and that man still gets shot. There's got to be an explanation, because that ain't going to fly. You're still going to get hit for it. So you need to come up with an explanation as to why that happened, and or who you sold that gun to. Because that's the person, if you truly didn't do it, man, I do not want this on you. That'd be horrible. I wouldn't be able to sleep. Neither would John. Yeah. We're fair men. We want to be able to advocate for you. If you made the mistake of being on federal papers and had a gun and sold it to somebody, big damn deal. You can live with that. But man, if there's a body on that damn gun because you sold it to somebody else and you're afraid to say, then that's on you. So it's one of two things. Either help us find the man who shot him, or tell us why the hell it happened. Because it's one of the two.
I can't tell you why it happened because I didn't.
You did. I mean, either you did or that man did, and you were right there when it happened. That I can't. That's science.
Is there any? Were you drinking or high that night?
No, I don't smoke or drink.
You don't smoke
I
or drink?
can't because.
You got okay. Yeah.
All right. So you're clear-minded. So you have a very good recollection of this. So what was it that happened, man? It's just no one's gonna we don't believe for a second that no reasonable people are gonna believe that you sold that gun in that amount of time.
How is that not possible?
Well, it's okay. I apologize. It's not just that one fact. It's when you when you add everything up. Okay, it's that your vehicles. So okay, you sold it. That's fine. The fact that you sold it in a few hours after you last shot it. Okay, and then your car is also there at the time of the shooting.
It's right there. It can't. That's not even possible for it to be right there.
It is.
No, it's
we
not right
see your vehicle. Literally, we see your vehicle on Cobb. Cobb goes north and south. We see your vehicle on Cobb. All right.
Okay.
You know where the man was killed at. You know where you drove at. All right.
Cobb, okay, you saw me on Cobb.
At
I've been there for the past few days. I've been there several times.
No, but I'm explaining to you how unrational this is.
Okay.
With
I mean, it doesn't make sense. Why would I don't know the dude?
Would it make sense to you? Would you believe this? Would you believe this story if you were us? Just put yourself in our shoes for just a second.
I mean, you need somebody to, and I've looked like the best subject, so I mean.
We don't want just a subject. We don't like to just. I've never met you before. I don't have a vendetta against you, Mike.
I mean, of course, I'm not saying you do, but
I'm just going with the facts that this case is going to be.
You need somebody for this to go on, and I look like the best possible subject, so this is what you're going to go with.
All the evidence in the investigation has conclusively led us to you. Right. There is no one else. Right. There is no one else that did this murder.
Okay. I mean,
no one else that shot the guy. All right. But Mike, what you're leaving out is probably your best, best option.
Exactly.
Okay. Because it's not a matter of whether or not it happened. It's why it happened. What led up to it. I know about this dude. I know the dude that got killed. I know what he was into. And I find it hard to believe that something didn't happen. How many people you drove by that night that you didn't shoot, right?
A lot.
Exactly, hundreds, if not thousands of people. Okay, so that's why I don't think it's completely random that this happened to this man. There was something that led up to this. There was something that he did that made this sequence of events happen. Okay, and that is your best thing that you have for yourself right now. And if you want to sit there and let what we have tell the story for you, I can tell you right
nothing
now.
else I can say. I mean,
Yeah, there is. You can say why it happened. You can say what led up to it, what happened. Because
I did it, so whatever.
Well, it's not a whatever, Mike. It
has to.
Actually, it doesn't. It doesn't. Here's what we're asking you to do, okay? And like I said, you're a smart man. All right. We know there's always reasons why shit happens. We're okay with that. All right. We've both been doing this a long time. So you got to kind of make it, once again, it's a decision. It's a business decision for you. You've admitted to firing a gun up on Ravine Road, okay? The 4 casings up there, at least, that we have. We've got 5 or 6 casings from Amsterdam. You've admitted to firing at them, okay? I'm good with that, all right? Now we're down here on, and you didn't hurt nobody up there. And if we're not saying that you were just driving around that night looking for just the next person you saw to shoot, we're not saying that. That's crazy.
1,000 people out there.
You could have shot 1,000 people, okay? But unfortunately, something happened with this man, okay? This man wasn't, like I said, he's not a pillar of the community, okay? He has done some shit, and he was into some shit that night with a bunch of people. We've been looking at all kinds of shit, okay? Because we know that what this man's into, okay? He pisses off a lot of people, so the fact that he would have come at you or pissed you off or something, I'm good with it. I just need an explanation. My guess is this man was in your ass. Because what he does is he'll flag people down and then he just tries to get right in your damn car. That's what he does all the damn time. And then ends up stealing shit from people. Okay? So my guess is, you not being from here, some dude flags you, sees you a couple times, flags you, calls you over. Did that man try to get in your car? He did, didn't he?
No.
He did.
Yeah, I don't doubt that he did either. And
that's what he does.
And by the way, he's also been drinking. He's got a beer and he's high. You're obviously not drinking. You're not high. You're of sound mind and judgment when this dude flags you down and tries getting in your ride. I get it. Again, it's back to that thing where this isn't just a random thing where you just picked him out of the crowd, out of nobody, right? The amount of cases that Gary and I have investigated over the years, I can't think of one. Maybe Dalton.
Maybe.
Other than that, maybe one case out of thousands and thousands that are random. They happen for no reason, if you know what I mean. There's always a reason, and there's always two sides.
So that man tried to get in your car. Yes or no?
For the next several minutes, Michael falls silent before he begins to reveal everything, down to the smallest details of what happened that night.
So he's pulling on a door you think he's trying to get in, so how many times did you shoot him?
Twice, 3 times.
Twice or 3 times? Do you think? Did you at the time know you hit him? I mean, you see him fall?
No, I did. I started driving when it started.
So is the window down, or you fire through your window?
The window was down.
Okay, so the window's down. He's pulling on it. You're like this. What hand are you? So you're.
Well, I can use both hands.
You can use both hands? Yeah, me too. So can John. So you go. You're like this with the gun, the 45. And you shoot him 3 times, two times, 3 times.
I don't know if I hit him.
And then you drive off. Okay. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. I didn't want to leave here today thinking you're some kind of maniac who just wanted to kill the next person he saw. Right? That's not you, is it?
No.
Sorry that happened to you.
Did you? Now let me ask you this, Mike. Given the circumstances, obviously, dude tries. You feel like you're about to get jacked. All right, so you shoot the dude, so that way it doesn't happen. Did you think at all? I know I'm on federal paper, but let me just get out in front of this. Did that cross your mind at all, or were you too?
I'm scared.
Well, sure, I know.
Scared.
What were you scared most? I mean, what scared you about it?
I mean, 1, a guy's dead. 2, I did it, and I'm gonna be locked up forever.
Do you know? How'd you know he was dead?
I mean, I saw the news later. Well, I didn't see the news. I saw it like on the on Facebook.
Yeah. When you shot him, did you get blood on you?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I mean, that you noticed.
No. Were you wearing the same clothes you have on now? Mm-hmm. No. What were you wearing?
I had this on.
Just that pullover on? And so you were in a car, you had the pullover on. I'll tell you what would help go a long way, because we can tell distances and all those kind of things. Where's that gun at? if you really want to get out from underneath this and get your life together and have a chance at this, and then it's all going to be based on cooperation from this point forward.
I threw it out. I took the clip and I threw that and I threw the gun out.
Where?
Like down the highway, going down the highway.
What highway?
131.
You know by where?
Not exactly.
Not exactly.
Driving and threw it out.
Driving and threw it out.
What direction you going?
Going north.
Where'd you get that gun?
That's old. It's been around for a couple of years.
Yeah, Tori's gun.
No.
Tori's mom's gun?
No, I didn't get it from her.
Even while confessing, Michael still finds a way to lie. He did steal it from Tori's apartment if the dozens of witness statements to prove this weren't enough.
You ever see Tori's mom's gun?
I saw one of them. I know she had like what is it? Like a flare gun, and I saw a revolver.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Mike, can you do this for us? Let's just run one version, okay? And I don't need to know what. I know you shot. When was anybody with you when you shot the gun up on Ravine into the water? No. Was anybody with you when you shot the gun up on Amsterdam the night of the murder? No. Okay. And was anybody with you when you shot that man at Cobb and Mabel at 1:30 in the morning? No. Okay.
Let me ask you this: was that girl with him?
Who?
Was there a girl with him when he flagged you down?
I don't remember anybody. Like I said, this was all happened.
Do you remember what he was wearing?
No.
No.
It happened quick, so I don't.
Yeah, it happened quick.
Had you ever seen him before?
No. No.
Okay.
So I don't know. Just tell me what happens. Give me one quick rundown of what happened.
So, like I said, you already pretty much know what happened.
Yeah.
Driving, he flagged me down. I rolled the window down. He's saying something. I turned down the music. And he starts grabbing on the handle.
Yep.
So I started shooting.
Okay.
Did you all? I mean, there obviously some type of dialogue. Does he say anything like, "Hey, bro, give me a ride, give me a rock, give me a beer," anything like that?
Like I said, I couldn't make out what he was saying.
Okay. All right. Did you say anything to him like, "Hey, what the hell are you doing?" Or
I was like, "What?" In my mind, I didn't say it out loud. I was like, "What?"
Yeah. Okay. Where do you think you hit him when you shot him?
I don't know. Probably in the body.
Okay. Did you get out of your car at all after the shooting?
No, like I said, I just sped off.
Okay, if you're in your car and I'm him, okay, so you're driving your car just like you are. I come up and I'm grabbing down this window, right, or the door, trying to get in, and you got it down. Show me what happens. So show me how you do it. Am I like where am I? Like right here.
Yeah, I'm sitting here. And
I'm pulling on it.
Here.
Yep. Okay, and then what happens?
Where's your gun at?
I reached. It was on the seat.
Okay.
And I reached over and I grabbed it.
Okay. So how far away am I when I get shot?
Right there.
So I'm right here. I'm right in your wheelhouse.
Did you fall down right away or no?
No.
Okay.
I'm still grabbing.
He's still grabbing even after you shoot?
Yeah. After the first.
Okay, so first round goes off.
Like
second, by the time he's
one or two.
By the first one or two, he's done grabbing, isn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, and where is he now? He's stumbling around.
Yeah.
Okay, and what do?
I pull off.
You pull off. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
And where do you go after that, Mike?
I got on the highway.
Northbound 131. Okay, and go where?
To Elm.
Okay, so you pitch it somewhere, and do you really pitch it or no?
Yeah.
Where do you stay that night, bro?
In Allegan.
And at
Torres.
Okay, thank you.
She might.
She
don't know.
Let me ask you this. Can I? And here's what happens. A lot of times when scary shit happens in their life, people reach out to people that are close to them and they tell them, okay, or they say something. Have you told anybody to this point what happened?
My sister.
Your sister?
I mean, she don't know exactly what happened, but I told her. Yeah.
You told her that you shot a man down in Kalamazoo? Have you told anybody else? And your sister, that's the one in Grand Rapids that you stay with? Okay. You told her you shot a man in Kalamazoo. And you tell anybody else?
No. I can't recall if I did. No, I don't think I did.
How about Tori?
Did I tell her?
Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't tell her. No.
Because you go there right after it happens. You're probably amped up like, holy shit, what just happened? Because you ain't never done nothing like this before. You didn't mean for it to happen, but it did. But you guys didn't have you and Tori didn't have a conversation about it at all?
No, it didn't really come up.
Okay.
Shortly after this, Michael's interview concludes. While Roosevelt was the one to flag Michael down, it did not change the fact that Michael was the one who was itching to shoot someone, habits that he clearly did not overcome even after spending time in federal prison. And 3 years later, on February 7th, 2022, 34-year-old Michael Thigpen was convicted of the premeditated first-degree murder of Roosevelt Thompson. Consequently, he was sentenced to life in prison.
On June 10th, 2016, at about 3 a.m., a 911 call was received by the Gresham Police Department in Oregon.
911,